hours left in the trading session. We'll take you right through to 4 o'clock and the close. We do apologize if there is a little noise in the background, as the guys were saying. We are doing some improvements and upgrades to the studio, so a little sanding going on. We're on all day, so there's just no other time to do it, unfortunately. So bear with us. You're going to hear some stuff in the background. It is Mark doing his best to sand some plaster right now. No, it's not Sandy Randy. It's Mark doing hard work. He's got a mask on and everything because he's... Anyways, we'll continue along. Let's have a look at where the market is right now. It is a red kind of day shaping up here once again. The NASDAQ leading things to the downside right now. 1.09% for the NASDAQ and tech stocks once again. About 0.5% here for the S&P, also back in the red. The Dow holding up better than the rest all day long, continues to be as well, 0.07. Back in positive territory. Everything else, though, pretty ugly, including at the bottom here. 6% for ETH on merge day. Yeah, the update is out there in the world and doing what it's supposed to do. So we'll have a look at maybe some cryptocurrencies coming up here. Also, let's get a check of not social sentiment. We'll get a check of it's gonna be one of those days, man. Wow. Here we go. Here comes the NASDAQ for you right now. Adobe, 16% to the downside. We're dealing with weakness right across the board. Software names specifically going to be weaker than the rest. OKTA, 3% to the upside. Marvell in here, KLAC, ASML, AVGO, semiconductors also leading to the downside. That's Netflix, 7% right now positive, offsetting some of the weakness otherwise in the communication services group. Healthcare stocks are positive, consumer discretionary positive as well. That's the S&P 500. I show you this because I want to highlight some of these names here. Travel stocks specifically having a nice bounce back day. Win 7% to the upside on an upgrade, dragging the rest of the casinos along with it. Humana increased their forecast today, so 8% for HUM. There's Netflix. We're going to talk about Netflix coming up here. The rest of the streaming names also very positive, and oh yeah, Adobe, as we saw, 16% lower. Hope you're having a quiet afternoon, because it's not here at all. But anyways, let's get into what we were looking at this morning. If you joined us in the pre-market, tons of opportunities once again. Neil's going to lead us off here with a look at one of his trades.
Trade of the Day is always brought to you by Day Trade the World, and start your journey with Day Trade the World, a great resource and a great prop form. Going to talk about Tesla. Nothing quiet about the trade in Tesla here today. I was looking for longs, I'm not going to lie. Tesla was relatively strong yesterday, super strong. The market is, of course, a little bit weak today, and I want to go to the key level. Now, everyone knows what happened on CPI day. We're hanging around, look, the pre-market, Tesla was gapping up, hanging around that 307 mark. And then that. So this is a 15-minute chart. It was an absolute death candle, dropped about 15, 16 bucks. Huge move. But the big thing was in yesterday's trade. You're breaking out of this 296 to 297 range, making a move right into 306, rejecting that CPI high, as I'm kind of just going to call it here. So you reject that CPI high, lower high, and then fall back in. But we held support 99,300. We gap back up, and we're holding this range at the open. I'm telling myself, well, I like the dip buy, and I wanted it off at 300. I had my line drawn in there to go long, but hey, you got to take what the market gives you. There was this dip right at the open, and ignore this wick here. That is not a true candle, dark pool whip. There was this little dip into 300. I didn't catch it, and then from there was only one trade to look for, and I wanted that 307 break. That was a day trader. When you take a breakout at the high of the day, a lot of times you're going to scalp it out. So first things first, I do scalp it, try to hold. And at this point, I'm holding for 10s, and then I want 15s for the last 2 bits of it. It does not happen. You cannot try to make something that isn't. When you get back below that breakout price, it rejects the break, and then you can see it completely fail this level on a huge candle to the downside. So we have to get out of it, accept the fact that the market was heading in southbound. So as much as I wanted Tesla to run and as strong as it was, I had to accept this was going to be over there. I did try picking it back up at VWAP a couple times at 305, and again, another death candle. I had some shorts, of course, that I liked, and some of the chip names were going to be to the short side, but I wanted only longs on Tesla, which means be patient. You have to wait it out. Key levels do matter here. I was unwilling to buy anything other than a dip in front of 300. So when we had this wick down into 301 and it held that low, that's when I get into the long. So we might have missed it over here, but we're not missing it near the end of our morning session. We're able to pick it up, scalp some, and then hold it to VWAP. Maybe I should have given it to that 305, 306 level. But as weak as the market was looking at that moment, I did not want to look that gift horse in the mouth. We waited patiently for it. We're able to catch that long off the bottom. The real story is that breakout looked fantastic. If the market had run from there, I really felt Tesla could have gone through that 307, but that's not the trade. It only gave you $1 to $1.50 and it reversed. Cannot just try to force that price area. You can't do it. You have to wait for the key level. That was down at that 300. It's your trade of the day. It is Tesla. As always, you can scan the QR code below. Day Trade the World is the best. And, of course, Tesla was on our watch list because EVs were strong. Get that daily as well.
Definitely want to pick that up. There it is. That's the link. You can have that every single day delivered right to you in your inbox for free. Tesla was on there. All of the EVs were on there this morning because we were dealing with so much impressive relative strength over the past few sessions in this group. So pick up the watch list, guys, and then you come join us every day at 8:30, and we make a plan as to how we're going to attack these opportunities at the open. You can use a QR code there on screen as well. NRBO, one that we were looking at this morning, doing things here late in the day, big volume spike, and it just ripped up $3.50 there. So a heads up on NRBO. Making moves as well. I wanted to mention this to kick things off. Boeing, pretty impressive move back to, higher on this. It was Investor Day for Boeing. They were discussing a few important things, including some of the Chinese-related deliveries that are scheduled for, or not necessarily scheduled for, but they're planning for coming up later in the year and also into the next couple of years. So both the CFO and CEO making comments at Investor Day. Boeing making a pretty good move here this afternoon.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Yeah, thanks for coming back there. Yeah, we are, as we talked about it. Now the sound sounds a bit better, but we've a lot of action happening around here. So bear with us if you do hear it's sanding going on right now.
And these flies are.
Yeah, we're busy. We're busy working. We're putting in the work. We've got some big things coming for you, like a brand new sort of setup. Brendan's desk is going to be really hype. So we're really happy. But I just tweeted out, and actually I made the biggest trade of September for myself right now, and it is a sticky note trade. We talk about being patient. I took the most shares I have all month because we did it yesterday on AMD, right? A little bit of luck by holding it all the way down, but there it is. We loaded up AMD and we just tweeted it out right now as my largest trade of the month, waiting for that to happen up to 78. Took some hits. I mean, that's a short downside. Shorted there, took a hit, and then just waited, man. We waited for 78, but we were also out there filming some stock on the street. So it came up, and literally, and I think if you guys were watching the afternoon show, I came in and I said, Prad goes to me, yo, AMD is at 78. I knew that because I had it up, and I was like, okay. So then I just instantly punched short, and then was able to get this fill as well at 77.96. And the thing is, bang that to the downside. So now we make up for everything and take that trade. The thing is, though, it was the same. Look at that. It's that exact same trade that we made yesterday. So that 78 short yesterday, we had this exact same trade. But today, we used more shares and held it. So, part of holding it is luck. Like I said, I was off doing other things. We were able to hold this all the way to the downside. But still, nice little 80-cent win there. I probably would have got more out if it was, if I was here and taken something out near that position right there. But, we saw it fall back down. We take the profit. And then, basically all of this is just me starting to get out. We are coming back down to some of those levels. But AMD thankfully went down. And wow, that was a little lucky for sure, because if that takes out 78, then I'm stopped out again. But again, patience pays, sticky note levels pay, and I think if we just stuck with some of these, like there's that Intel, Starbucks. You know what did Starbucks do, I wonder? You were in that name earlier.
No, I actually today I did not get Starbucks. It was a Netflix day, man.
Oh, Netflix day, right.
Those were the two names I think that we liked for relative strength and alongside. We'll talk about Boeing in a quick second. We might as well do Starbucks, but Starbucks. It was 90 that I liked. I mean, it could have broken out. There's every chance that Starbucks could have taken out this high, and I might have liked that break, but it was 90 even. That was a breakout yesterday. It never defended. It's been an inside day for SPAC, so there was never going to be a shot, I don't think, to have traded that. But looking at what's going on with Boeing, obviously, it's actually holding up pretty well because you've seen the market come back pretty nicely here as it works back in toward that 12,000 level. If we bounce off 12 again, if the ES bounces off 13.2, which is that current low that we're sitting in, Boeing is holding the top end of the range. So you have that, the news comes out, volume spike, breakout away from 150, previous high 150, 150, gets held for support. Yeah, I'm going to like both those levels. If we're bouncing off the futures bottoms, I want the market to come to me here because the market's coming down, then I want to take either long off the 150 area or off the 150, 150 on Boeing. So positive news for them out of the investor day and showing some relative signs of strength. All I have right now is short Intel because the fly, right? Do you get him?
No.
Oh.
I was going to ask
you. Well, you see, okay, hold on a second.
Like that just
dude, he does this. I'm like, and you hold it. No. I'm like, you got it, right? Then no, but there's like 30 of them anyway.
That's the thing. I mean, you know what? It was like right on my screen, and I didn't want to like hit the screen.
Oh, you don't.
So I waited, and then I missed them, or her. I don't know. Do flies have gender? I don't know. He, him.
You know what's weird? I feel like
I don't want to beg.
I'm sure we learned that at some point in our lives. I have.
Well, we learned a lot of things and forgot a lot of things, and that's the problem. Brendan, flies have gender, or?
I was just saying we need a science corner segment or something. I have no idea.
Why would Brendan know?
Brendan knows everything. Check icon. I don't know. Check the terminal there. I don't know.
Brendan, what's the meaning of life?
Oh man, yeah, that is true. What is the meaning of life besides trading? Trading is life.
Do you know what the meaning of life is? The meaning of life is 42.
Jackie?
No. Anybody that gets that reference in the chat, I'll shout you out for sure. Why is the meaning of life 42? That's what I want to hear.
Is it a book, or we'll have to wait? See, if it's a book, I have no idea.
Lucas knows. Lucas in my ear, he knows what's up. Mark stopped sanding and yelled out "Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy." So
is Mark in there or not? I don't know. I mean, Mark could
get back to work.
Oh, here he comes. There he is in there. Mark is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. What did he just say?
I couldn't even. He's got the mask on.
He's got the mask. Oh, he is that masked man.
It's a bit of a scene here right now.
So we do apologize. Thank you for tuning in again. It is a Thursday, and the markets are kind of stabled off a little bit here. Oh, by the way, Brendan threw that to. Well, it feels like Friday again, but Brendan threw that to us with Boeing, and I believe we didn't discuss Boeing at all. So let's go over there before we get in more trouble there from the big man at the big desk. So Boeing Investor Day today. Yeah, I know we're on Boeing, Fahad. You know what, Fahad? Honestly, I like this guy, but it's running thin right now. So Boeing, again, some nice levels, dip buy opportunities galore. You have sort of barcode a little bit right up here. I think you want to trade names like this when there's doing volume, and today there is. So you can see it's well aggressive. I mean, up 2% against the market, down 1.4. So Boeing's a nice little stock. I've been buying Boeing and holding it, not lately, but this is a name that I do own. It's kind of stuck in the middle here. You need to get above this 154 area. You go back to early September where we danced around this 154. It didn't really become a trade until we broke back above. So I think you wait for that. Look at top 160. But honestly, the investor day, besides doing all these other things, I really haven't dug into those numbers, but I know Brendan did talk about that. So it's always nice. Whenever investor days are here, we had Starbucks moving yesterday on a similar event. So today you get Boeing going to the upside as well. So always nice to see that. And look, this is one of those iconic American companies, right? Like, I think it was during the collapse, obviously, of 2020 that basically they came back and was funding it. President Trump there was talking about funding Boeing down there below $100, just like the Chinese government with NEO as well. So just one of those staples. I think you can continue to buy Boeing. It's a monopoly, right?
Duopoly.
Right.
Oligopoly. It's not, It's a duopoly.
They also have a
It doesn't
contract
even
with
matter.
NASA too. I mean, they're in a lot more than just simply building of planes. So yeah, duopoly.
I've told you about what I think. There's a few things out there like AI that could be like absolute game changers. I'm talking like way out in the future. Who knows when AI is going to be the real game changer it could be. I'm telling you, one of these days they're going to mine asteroids, and they're going to be building spaceships in orbit because it'll be a heck of a lot easier to build longer range in orbit. And everybody that has a piece of that pie, it's going to be a lot of money in it. So that's way down the line, and Boeing is poised, right? Like they're poised to be one of those. I'm getting ahead of myself. I think Boeing. Look, I want to see it break back to 50.
Is getting ahead of yourself.
I know. Hey man, they landed.
I like that movie.
We've landed on an asteroid already. Like it's impressive stuff.
I don't think it's the end of the world.
It's impressive stuff, man. When you see what SpaceX can do,
up for that.
what SpaceX can do, it's pretty amazing stuff. That's why I love Elon. But Boeing needs to get above the 50. For the trade this afternoon, I still like it to the long side. If we can get that hold. Right now, we are testing some of these lows. If we can bounce off those lows, I do like trying to pick up some Boeing in front of these support areas here. So let's see if we can do it. Right now, the market is trending down, so I don't want to. Rushing into longs when the market is trending down has never been the way because we just go top to bottom to top to bottom, and diddling in the middle doesn't get you anywhere. Brendo, what's next?
Just watching Save here. Spirit Airlines popping up, guys, on volume. It looks like the JetBlue making comments on the deal, saying they're willing to make some compromises for a speedier resolution and a speedier completion date. So just a heads up on Save, just popped up there on volume. Let's talk about some of these because it was an interesting setup anyways for some of the chip makers. Ended up being a tough trade if you were looking at a few of them anyways. NVIDIA, Mizuho, it's worth noting, with a note and a price target cut on both of these, not just NVIDIA. And then Wedbush removing AMD from their best ideas list this morning.
List.
Yeah.
Those lists are
better ideas than that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, I mean, one of my best ideas is actually the semis as well, as I mock it. But
Long
no,
term,
look, I mean, until we get out of the way on the NASDAQ, and like I put a video out on Twitter when we talked about that earlier today, right? I mean, and it's right here if you want to go see what we were talking about on Twitter earlier, if and when it loads. Oh, thanks for that reply there. Yeah, there's the sticky note. Yeah, you're right, Phil. That's Amazon, Phil, by the way, who sent me about 4,000 sticky notes. But right here before, we talked about the NASDAQ, and I went over some key levels that I thought needed to break. This was 4 hours ago before the market even opened, right? And I mean, we're still here looking at that same thing. So here you got at the top side, this 12.5, where you can go back into that. So 12.4, 12.5. We didn't really get to that. We only got to 12.3 today. So I think you got to break above here on the NASDAQ and then right back down in. Look at that level that we bounced off of today. Again, it's not really rocket science, man. You're bouncing off that 12,000 one more time. So these levels, and the reason why I bring this up is because until then, I'm going to stay true. And by the way, we're going to get out of this if it breaks above here, 77.07. We're going to get out of a decent part left here on AMD. But what the point is that I was trying to get at right now is just that until you get out of that NASDAQ range, you are going to have names like AMD that are going to try to continue to be inside of a range, right? So if you look at a daily chart here for AMD, that 12,000 bottom makes sense. It's coinciding with the bottom of the stock, right? You get a break below 12,000 on the NASDAQ, and then it's see you later on a lot of these names. So for now, there's support in the market, and as long as we don't break above that 78 mark here on AMD that we've talked about, here it is right here the last couple of days, that I'm going to try to remain short. And then like I just said, my biggest trade of the whole month I just have on right now, and that was that 78 short off of AMD. So it's on the sticky note. Not only is it on the sticky note, it says right here, patience. Wait for your trade. If we're going to talk about education and trying to learn how to trade, it's not jumping in and getting that FOMO. That happens to me all the time. You see it here on the show. It's be patient as you can. And for now, because we're talking about chips and downgrades, I agree with those downgrades. The NASDAQ has to get going. It has to break higher in order for these chip names to continue to work.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, yeah, to start working again, maybe. Because, look, Intel hasn't been working for a while. I think everyone's sort of understands that. But the other day, there was a 30 level on Intel that I was sort of talking about. And I got caught saying under my breath when it broke that 30. And this is 30 the last time it got here. There was a kind of a bounce off that 30 level. And then you can see when it got there on the death day, the CPI day, there was a minute bounce,
Neil.
and I got caught saying, hey, look, it's going to, I'm going to take that trade, and it's probably going to be the worst long of all time. It bounced 10 cents, and then you see it flush through 30. And I did not reverse short. And when it broke 20, this is 29. The low yesterday is 29. I said there's no chance. I'm not going long in front of 29. I'm just shorting 29 when it happens. That's going to be the price. That's going to be the trade. Shorted 29. It made the bottom at 70s. Shorted on the way back. It made a bottom at 80s. I took it a third time with a tight stop. And then it tried challenging some of these highs. And when it challenged that 29.25 we closed a couple of days ago, there's your wick top. There's my favorite setup, wick top, entry on the consolidation. Now it's headed back to and below 29 even. So, I mean, these names are all under a lot of pressure, but Intel's been giving you shorts on every even dollar break.
Don't go back to Brendan yet. I have to ask you something. So first of all, guys, it's not scratching or anything like that. It's sanding. We're sanding a statue of Neil. So that's the thing. So we can put that here. There, we're going to do that. But that's what that sound is. So don't bear with us. I think you can still hear us.
Someone said it was a Birdman. It's like...
doing that with his hands or get the money in between there. No, but what I wanted to ask you, Neil, was news out, and I'm not trying to steal Brendan's thunder because it's not really moving the stock, but Disney removes 2 Star Wars films, and I don't know, are these out yet? Rogue Squadron. You heard of that one? Removes 2 films from their 2023 schedule.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so right there.
That's disappointing.
I know, because it's a Star Wars movie. I know you're probably looking out for it, so I don't mean to.
Probably only I care about.
Be the Debbie Downer there, but they're removing that. So
what's the other one?
I'm only seeing Rogue Squadron right now, and I think there must be. Maybe it's only 1 Star Wars, but anyways, I wonder if that means. And again, like sometimes when you see there's smoke, there's fire. It's not really affecting Disney too much, but maybe the budget's not there for these movies. Has it become more expensive? Let's come over to the chart here if we can. Thanks, Fahad. Here's Disney right here, bouncing off this 110. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, there could be other issues here. We're going to find out. I'm sure Brendan's going to, when he finds something, he'll come with that. But Disney hasn't been performing well. They actually filled the gap. So this was earnings, and they filled the gap right back down to where we were. So that's never a good sign here for Disney. I wonder if it's becoming more expensive, maybe to not just to pay, but the extra staff that's there. I don't know why that is. I mean, Disney should have big budgets. If there's anything that has a big budget, I mean, I would think that those guys would, especially for Star Wars. But I don't know. So that's an interesting little tidbit there. I don't know if you guys have any opinions in the chat or not, but that's that for Brendan. If you find anything on that, I'm sure you'll come with more.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out. Haven't seen, I mean, the stock didn't move, as you said, on that news. They said, so they removed 2 and then delayed another. So it's actually 3 movies total that are affected by that move by Disney. Let's go on to Netflix. Speaking of some streaming news today, Netflix, what a day for Netflix, up more than 7% here. Evercore upgrading the stock, saying potentially 30% more upside to come on this ad-supported model that they'll be shifting to in the beginning of next year.
Yeah, so we've gotten away from the frustrating stocks of the day. And sometimes it's going to be something that was successful for you that is going to be your biggest regret. Right. And it's like 1,000,000% Netflix, because Starbucks yesterday, the breakout was gorgeous. There was a continuation. But the breakout on Netflix was just as good. You're going to see the consolidation. There were very few names that were this strong. Netflix was one of them. On the 3-minute here, you see it take out that 231. Once it was gone, you can pretty much forget about it. When the market made that top, this is when I had the Tesla breakout around this time, and it made that top. Netflix was trying to hold 35s. It worked 35 to 37 for a couple of bucks. I did not reload it. It then broke down. But when I was talking the trade of the day, and Tesla gave a second shot at that 300 level, and we took it, well, Netflix gave a second shot at that 231, and I didn't take it. So when I got Tesla at the bottom, I did not get Netflix at the bottom, which was an even better trade. And next thing you know, at the top, I'm taking a 240 breakout. It does make it to 241, so it's not like any of these trades are bad, but come on, give me a break. 231 twice. Tesla gave 300 twice. You got to grab it at least once. Netflix gave it this level a couple of times here, and we're still holding the high of the day. This is in the face of the market falling down here. So at this point, Netflix has proven its worth on this day, and I feel like it's going to be one of those stocks that I'm only looking long on Netflix this afternoon. Whether it's going to be dipping into VWAP again, like 37s or so, or maybe a hold of this 240 area and the market gets going. if we bounce off 12,000, if we bounce off those lows, I'm looking for the long on Netflix the same way I'd look for long on Boeing when in fact that does happen at one of these key levels, whether it's 37 or this 39.40 area. So Netflix, look, it's a strong one here today. Just, you should have had that 231. And I get it, you can only look at so many names at once, but was there anything stronger than Netflix at the open? I don't know, like Roku maybe was that strong at the open. Coincidence, right? Like those two were absolute beasts. And when you caught them on the way back in, they would have been gorgeous to have had.
I mean, yeah, I feel like, we used to have frustrating stock of the day. I mean, Netflix would be it because, and I'm at least glad that Neil was looking at it. I was not, unfortunately, but when we talked about it, because it was on our watch list, and we talked about this earlier, I think it was on our watch list anyways, it must have been. It was on the watch list, and we talked about it earlier. I liked that 234 break, and I said, we'll probably get to 238 today on that name. But, of course, we avoided it. We missed it. And unless it was on my sticky note. Was it? No, not today. So, yeah, Netflix, we missed an opportunity. But a nice high there, just to tell you guys, that's 255 or so for the high. So I drew this line right there. Look at how much this respected that 50 period. So there it is right there at 216. Look where it bounced. Look where Netflix bounced right off the 50 period, right there at 220. So if you're going to be long this name, I think you now have a guaranteed out. If you can break back down below that 217, you can get out of this. Otherwise, hold it. Hold it for that gap up. The thing is, we're now through earnings. You can wait for next earnings season, right? So let them tell you how their streaming is going. Let them tell you how their ad supporting system is going. You don't have to make any guesses anymore. So it's a nice profit. I'm sad that I got out of 75. I'll have to double check how much I got out of it. But, pretty sad right now because Netflix has ripped up. But hey, it's a great trade. You never go wrong taking profits. But I think at this point, up 7% in a down market, I think it would be crazy unless the story changes to sell this thing. It has 260 written all over it, Netflix.
All right, just having a look at some of the buy now, pay later stocks once again. Another tough day for these. Here we go. This was a headline this morning we were discussing. If you joined us in the pre-market, it was Affirm, obviously, on watch. There's PayPal down here, Block or Square, depending on what you want to call it. But the U.S. Consumer Watchdog comes out this morning and says they're going to plan on regulating buy now, pay later services in general, and then the companies obviously attached to these. So leaves a little bit of questions when it comes to what's going to happen with these stocks, specifically, I guess, Affirm, first off.
Yeah, look, obviously there's a few names that are going to be affected by that, but none so directly as Affirm, obviously. I tried two trades. It's a tale of two trades for me on Affirm because when we looked at that my 15-minute chart, the level that's going to stand out the most is going to be 25 outside of the CPI top at 27. But the 25 level, which I have drawn out here, that was going to be a big one. I did like 24s, right? Like you had that 24 resistance, and I did play into 24. This is me getting stopped out at 24. And the one thing about if you have one of those dead cat bounces, and I didn't really listen to myself because I have a bias against a firm in day trading sometimes. I said if it doesn't take the low, you could squeeze up because of that short interest. Well, there was your long at the open, and I'm just shorting into the move. At least when you get stopped, the best thing you can do is get out of the trade, regroup, and wait for it to get to your level. Because between 24 and 25, is an entire 4% that you don't need to be losing on. Wait for it to get to that price. It rejected 25, then shorted it. I'm not in it anymore. It found support back at that 24. The trade was from that 25 failure into 24 even. Decent chance it could break this floor to the downside, in which case I'd be looking for maybe a short through 23.80. Otherwise, I'll just wait for it to get back to 25. Play those key prices. That's what it's all about. Yesterday, we liked the long in PayPal. I got away from that today because of this news. I didn't want to be sort of going and shooting for that long in PayPal with the negative, I suppose, headwind that they have going on. It looked like it would have been okay. I could have just revisited some of the support that we saw yesterday, and it would have been fine going longs in PayPal. But I felt it was the right decision to stay away from it today. But you could have gone back to the well with PayPal and been just fine.
Just missed a fly. Uh-oh.
You gonna get it?
I don't know. It's too close to the. Oh.
You don't want to hit the keyboard. That's
The thing is, you got to get it as it's flying by. That's because, it can. I think it senses the shadow and everything like that. You can't see. Look, it's right on my shirt right now. Oh, it can't. That one time I got to fly, well, I guess was lucky, but there it is. Now it's on.
It's literally,
it's literally on your hand right now. Yeah, see, you can't. You're trying to smack it. I'm trying to catch it right there. Maybe you have a better idea.
What am I even doing?
Right there. I didn't look at
what's
any
going
Affirm today or anything like that. I think you could always look at PayPal. I know Neil just talked about that. I like PayPal back down here to 90. If you're going to talk about patience pays. And by the way, I do want to. So I just feel like, honestly, I want to show this tweet right now because Neil's wife, triathlete, right? Is that right?
Well, she's triathlete.
Kind of the same thing. So look what she says. It's crazy to me that we have a 500K sub. So I'm not saying who she's talking about here. I don't know who it is. Furu, which is like a guru, but for financial. Grifters on Twitter pumping options and stuff like that. When we got Trader TV Sean here and Trader TV Neil. Get away, right there. And Trader TV Neil doesn't have Brendan on here, but Brendan's here as well. And we are scalping real life prop shop all day, giving these for free. So I want to say a big thank you to Triathlete Soccer Mom right now. Thank you so much for posting that because that is exactly the reason why we do this. We don't charge anything at all, and we're just trying to get you guys to watch, to make some money with us, have a good time, and I want to thank you for posting that. And I did get you that retweet right there. So hopefully you guys can follow Triathlete Soccer Mom as well. But that's the reason why we're doing this. All right, so PayPal back down here.
By the way, I want to say, like,
ahead,
that's mad respect. If you're, because people, you can say whatever you want about soccer moms. It's a busy job, like going out, doing everything for the kids. But being a triathlete, you are essentially training for 3 sports.
Yes.
Like when my wife was doing it, you're training pretty much hardcore 5-6 days a week because you got to swim twice a week, you're going to run once or twice a week, you're going to bike a couple of times a week. It's no joke whatsoever. You can do that and have kids and even, hey, be interested in trading.
That's funny. Bears versus Bulls. Here's that tweet from Soccer Mom. Yeah, that's right. Triathlete Soccer Mom. So multiple sports there. So PayPal back down to 97. Yeah, is at 97 right now. You know, I don't know if the take of 100 is anything. It is more just getting out of this way. 103 for me on PayPal. I just think you buy it if it comes back down to 90. You have the 50 period here on the support. I mean, if you think the market's going to 2,600 or 3,600, something like that, which right now, I mean, 3,600 is not far away. It's 3,940 right now. Then you may want to hold off on some buys. But I just think that if you come back in, PayPal's a name that's just been beat down so much. You know, buy now, pay later. Affirm, PayPal, things like that. I mean, we'll wait to see. I don't really like that business model, but you are seeing some headwinds with that name as well there, Brendo. But just quickly, I did take, just to let you guys know, so here's my AMD trade. We got another piece out right there at 90 when it came back in and barcoded a bit. And then I have, because this was my biggest position of September, and, you know, I have like 2% left of this trade, so it's a very, very small piece. I'm going to hold it to see if we get back to 78 so I can sort of monitor it because there are other names that I'm looking at here. So just so you guys know, I did take out the sort of the last 5% or so and now holding it just a couple points left on this trade here. So we're still waiting for that one. But yeah, what a good take that was. You got too much out in front of 77. It does come all the way down here. But again, if I wait for that ultimate bottom, I probably don't get it. So I'm pretty happy with this AMD trade. And again, thank you to Triathlete Soccer Mom for those kind words. Over to you, Brendo.
Yeah, great comment for sure. Thanks for that. Guys, oil just ending the day here. 85.10. Down 3.75% on the day for crude oil. So oil stocks under pressure as well, but big move down for crude. Good segue into Rivian and some EV stocks. Rivian still holding up nicely here near these highs from early on this morning and then aftermarket yesterday. But I mean, we looked at Tesla off the bat here, but it wasn't just Tesla today. It was all of them, really. Lucid as well. Fisker had a big day also to the upside on that Tesla upgrade, it would seem.
Yeah, I'm going to get NIO out of the way because it's doing that thing where it doesn't move in the afternoon pretty much every single day. It took out that huge top from yesterday's trade, this week's trade, I should say, which was 22.25, lower high in yesterday's trade, and then it broke out in a big way, got up to 75, try the reload, it stopped out. But look at what this is doing. Every single day, pretty much at about noon or around lunchtime, NIO just stops going. So you're seeing it now going sideways when Rivian is bouncing to the upside. When Tesla is, whoops, that's not New York stock. When Tesla is holding at least close to these highs, like it's still trying to challenge the top. So it's still moving around a little bit. So NIO, throw that one. I feel like you throw NIO out the window at lunchtime. If you finish your trade there and move on to something else, because that's the way it goes. Tesla's still relatively strong. I think if it can hold 305 here when if the market can even hold up, that's my big litmus. If the market can't hold, and I don't care about any of these longs, but if it can hold, then I like this 305 level here on Tesla. Otherwise, it has to be 300 and 301. And I don't know that I would short this off of the top. I think that looks a little bit perilous and a little bit risky. And as I see, by the way, we'll talk more about the EV names. Boeing starting to come back in here with the market rolling over. And I want to be long this level, but we're not exactly bouncing in the market. So I'll let it come to me. If we break 150, 150, I'm going to look back into 150. I wanted to see this in strength. I'm seeing it into weakness, which means I'm going to back off on Boeing for now. There's no need to force along. If anything, I want to look for something short if the market's going to head back to the lows.
All right. Yeah, let me talk about some other names here that we talked about earlier on today, this morning, because we're on the EV space. I mean, Fisker, we talked about that earlier today off the open and how that had some possibilities to get going. And look what it did off the open, man. 935 up to 1005, now came back in. Another name that a lot of traders were looking at was Ride, Lordstown. And again, don't quote me on this. Well, you can quote me on it because I'm giving it to you. But someone in the chat said earlier on today that Lordstown was up for Truck of the Year at one of the car shows, so that could be something you see that's up 4.2% today. So just like Fisker was 4%, Ride is 3.7%. What is Lucid? Did you talk about Lucid? No, you didn't.
No, Rivian
you did, yeah.
Rivian
so Lucid as well, up again. Wow, okay, I thought Lucid was up 3%, but no, not. So thanks for bringing that to our attention, man. The two names that we talked about earlier on in the show was both Fisker and Ride, and we didn't even talk about Lucid right now. Neil, you're not going to catch that.
I know,
I'll
stop.
That's not happening. The other one must have had, like when I caught the other one, he must have just been feeling ways. This one is sharp.
They don't live that long, so the thing is if you catch them a few days they start, they're not moving around as much and they're starting to die.
I think it's because we've had the door open. There's a big change of temperature and everything right now happening, obviously, here
cold
as we get ready. But any predictions tonight? I'm going to go with Kansas. Is it in Kansas City?
Good question.
I'm going to have to find out. But what a great NFL game tonight, man. The Chiefs versus the Chargers. And it's also the first day. And the reason why I bring this up is not simply because of the game. Obviously, I'm going to be watching that right now. It's in
KC.
Yeah, yes, exactly. It's in KC. So, that should be a fantastic. I'm going to say go Juju
God, we're
Smith
all
Schuster.
in on the...
And you have Mahomes, so hopefully they can light that up.
We're all in on Green Bay this week.
No, we're not all in. No, we're not all in on Green Bay. N-O, as I say to my kids, no. The reason why I do that, trust me, man, Green Bay is in a storm right now that I don't...
It's a 10-point at home to Chicago?
Oh, they're at home to... Yeah, that's right. I didn't know they were favored by 10 points. Still, not all in. Not all in.
We're all in.
Oh, man.
I'll talk you into it.
No, it's fine. We would do it, but I don't want the gun pointed at me afterwards. Anyways, okay, we could go all in on Green Bay. Ooh, I guess they have Lazard.
We're talking our Survivor League. We got crushed in our Survivor in week 1. So we lost 7 of 10 entries. We got 3 left. I say we just roll the dice, all of it on Green Bay, and then hope for an upset somewhere else, right? Like maybe San Fran loses to Seattle.
I guess that could happen there. Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do in the Survivor pool. You are right about
that
one. But Tokyo Golfer. Is that the name I just saw there? You are right. Yeah, there it is. Tokyo Golfer. What's up? Golfing in Japan. Very, very popular as well. What's up? Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, Green Bay for the win. Yeah, Tokyo Golfer. You are right. The reason why I talk about football tonight is because it is the first Thursday night game of the year, and Amazon. We know that Amazon now has the rights to Thursday night football, so get ready to rumble on that one. This, whether or not it's a spark for their stock, it doesn't seem to be. It's down 1.1% right now, but I like Amazon at some of these levels. I know their PE is still ridiculous, but Amazon today, a stock to watch as they do have that Thursday night football game coming on board, and you could see here 126 down there as a bottom. Let's take a quick look at a 20-minute chart here. Again, I think patience pays here. I feel like you had to wait for that 130. Did 130 come today? Unless it was off the open. Yeah, there it is right there. So again, if you had patience on that and you took that 130, I don't think you would have punched out for 38-cent loss as that was the top. But right here for Amazon, I think patience pays again. So I'm actually, like I did yesterday, with Beyond Meat and with, I threw it out already. What was the other name? Microsoft. Yeah. forget about, I wish I didn't do that for Microsoft. I'm down on Microsoft today. But make the notes, right? Put them down there to watch out for Amazon tomorrow. Just like I liked that 78 short on AMD, which obviously we cashed out on that one. This Amazon short is very, very similar up here at 130. I think you short this name until you break above, and even when you do, you have some areas up here, 131, 132. I don't think you get destroyed on a 130 short at some point with Amazon. So if the market bumps up tomorrow, I really do like that short. And I still want to thank that tweet, because I think that really solidifies and really is what we're all about, is sitting here talking every single day to you, looking over some ideas and making day trades and cashing out for you. But with that being said, I haven't entered a trade yet, but I am looking.
I'm looking at ATDX making a bit of a volume spike here. That's not a small one. It went 9 to 10, actually to 1050, and now holding a higher low, but the volume's already tapering. Look, I like a breakout. I like something it's a dead cat bounce because it's down 13% after essentially, this is the last couple of sessions on ATDX. Since it had the reverse split, you're going to see all it's done is fall off. But hey, that's a heck of a lot of support that it found, about 850 to 870. So getting off the schneid here makes a little bit of sense to me. If it can hold 950, that's not a bad long. Breakouts, I'm not going to love a breakout. I want to see more volume in here, but I want to see 950 hold on a dip buy, and then we can get to that. And another one from the viewers here, and again, this is why I love the community out there. Yeah, a bit of a bounce, relative strength in Snowflake. Again, this is not the first time it's shown some pep in its step, up 1% to the market being down. Bounced off VWAP, trying to hold 200 here. Yeah, I like this for a consolidation around that 199.50 to 200. Maybe throw a 99 stop. The market is trying to come back down in here, so you want to see, like, you want to let the market come down, either hold a higher low or hold 12,000 and then look for those longs. I think jumping in too early doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense. And then as we were talking about the EVs, we forgot about Rivian. Rivian, I did short this initially off of 40.50. That was good. You tried it? I know. I reversed into the long at 40.50. That didn't actually work out. At the end, it did the Tesla thing. It went a little bit and then kind of flushed down. And the shorts after that were no good. It has a current high of 40.85, which it has trouble getting through. And we're just kind of barcoding off of this right now. I think it's worth it to maybe play the range here, shorting in front of the high of the day. You have 41 as cover. We saw what happened all in the afternoon, 40. 7 different shorts at 40 yesterday, and then pretty much every single one of them worked off the high of the day. So I think doing the same thing at the high of the day will make some sense in Rivian. It just has sellers up here for whatever reason. Regardless of how strong it is, we saw what happened. I'll take advantage of this as long as it holds this range. I'll be trying to short this name throughout the afternoon.
I actually have, okay, there it is. So right there, I just want to talk about it. I actually have a bid on AMD I was going to talk about, but we just got it filled. So AMD just came right back down. And again, this is what we're trying to do. Like, I'm trying to teach and understand like where I'm getting in and out. So right back into there, into that support level again. Let's get some more out on AMD. And now we're really light. Now we can just hold for the win. I don't know if I should say this or not, because Tony just dropped the truth, and Fahad knows about this as well, is that Tony's in Adobe right now long. So he likes the, sort of the longer term story here. Adobe's down 17% today, and I can't disagree. I mean, this level right here at 307, now whether or not it gets cracked today or not is a different story. Obviously, we're talking about for a little bit of a long-term play, I assume, and I spoke to Tony about this, but I didn't realize he was going to buy it. I wonder about Adobe here. I mean, those of you in the chat, you were talking about some of the different products that they have. And, we need to get somebody on here that can talk a little bit more about this than I can. But, Photoshop still continues to be one of the leaders. Remember that they did buy, it's Figma? Is that what it is? I think it was, for $20 billion. But the thing is like the last round of evaluations for Figma was about $10 billion valuation. So I don't know why they wind up paying that much for it. Were there other bidders or not? I'm not sure. Just seems very, very expensive. And I just think that if you're going to play Adobe right now, it's going to be long off of this level right here, 307.07 or so, trying to get a little bit of a bounce back to the upside. So I feel like this is worth the play. I'd like to see it break through the 50 period right now, but I'm just wondering, is this worth the play right now? I mean, that bottom wick is 306.50. I think you can do it off 307 flat. Grab those traders that have options, maybe, things like that. Maybe get exercise near the end of the day. I'm going to step into Adobe here. I'm going to take the long against that 307 and just see if it holds for the rest of the day. We've already been up to 315. This is a chance to make a big winner here. I'm going to take Adobe long off this 307 bottom.
Just looking at Snowflake, there's a bit of an iceberg that just broke. I was about to try to show you the iceberg, but it just broke at 20. It was at 2020. Actually, they're back on the bid right now, but I'm going to take a shot here on Snowflake if it breaks that 220, I should say, on Snowflake. If it does get down into VWAP, the market's trying to hold up here. As long as it does, I'm going to still like that long, but it has to chew through that 220. If it does, I would have hit that offer if it had gone through, but now it looks like that iceberg is going to send it to the downside, so I can probably just get a better price. Brendan?
More on that Adobe story. There's been a number of analyst notes already coming out suggesting or supporting exactly what was Sean was saying there, that they overpaid for this. It's 50 times. So they're paying 50 times the annual recurring revenue in $20 billion currently for this Figma. There's also a $1 billion termination fee if the deal doesn't get done. So yeah, a number of cautionary notes, to say the least, out today on that very thing, guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, the termination fee.
Spin it.
The termination fee is normal. That's
a billion.
That's kind of
a billion for 20 billion.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
Yeah, I think that's 5%. Is that?
I don't think. Look, it's not out of bounds.
Wait a second. What was?
It's not out of bounds.
So it was 54 billion for Twitter.
Oh, and Twitter.
No. The price was 54. Was it $54? What was
$54 for Twitter?
Wasn't it, or was it 54?
Yeah, $54 for Twitter.
So what was the exact buyout?
40 billion or something like that.
40 billion was what it was there.
It's in the pocket.
And that termination was
$1 billion. It's $1 billion.
Oh, it's only $1 billion.
It's only $1 billion.
No, for Elon, I'm saying.
It's only $1 billion.
What?
For Elon.
I thought it was a couple billion.
It's chump change for Elon.
Oh, well then why is he doing this? He's going to spend more in legal fees probably. This guy's too much. Are you sure about that? It's only $1 billion for that? Yeah, there it is right there. $44 billion deal with a $1 billion cancel.
Yeah, chump change for,
well,
I mean, look, $1 billion is $1 billion.
Why did he raise $6 billion that one time when he sold $6 billion worth of Twitter, of Tesla? I'm just confusing the story, but anyways, good call there. And so there you go. So $44 billion deal with a $1 billion termination. So maybe the $1 billion on 20 is a lot, but whatever. Okay, we are reloaded down here. We're not reloaded. We just have another fill on Adobe. So we just went long there. Our average price is now $307.90. Giving this only $1 is kind of like weak sauce. I'm actually going to give it to that very bottom now, 306.50. If we break back down 306.50, I'm going to cancel my stop order as I see this. I want to try to give it a chance to win. I am still short a little bit here. You guys have seen ADBE. You guys have seen me in AMD, but the AMD shares, I actually at this point have more shares in Adobe than I do in AMD. So AMD is a $78 stock, Adobe's a $300 stock. So I do need this thing to go up, but I'm going to give it a little bit of room. It's because I'm light on AMD right now. So let's give this a little bit of room now. I'm going to give it to that bottom wick. I mean, someone got stopped out here at 307, right? I mean, that's why they got punched out. So normally that's me, but it's not right now. So we'll buy that bottom. It's right back in. Yay, now we're in the money, 3 cents, but that doesn't matter. We're going to wait for that 306.50 bottom to break. If I get stop hunted, I get stop hunted, but that would be me with everybody else too, right? So that 306.50 right there, let's just play it off that. So it's a new trade idea. We'll hit our new trade alert for that because we just got this on. So it's an averaged in price. It's 307.90 right now on Adobe, just playing off that. We've had a big move to the downside. I just showed you that. And let's just see. Someone's buying it up down here. I just don't want to hold it to see that I'm wrong all the way back to 305. That's all. I could get ticked out of this and then get back in, but honestly, I'm still like on a little bit of a high from that AMD trade. So let's just stay with it here and see if we can't turn this one into another one of those gems. So I don't really have a target to get out right now. I'm not going to take it out at 308.70, although that would only be $1. I mean, so we're risking $1 with slippage. We're risking about $1.70 probably. So I think we need to get at least up here. So let's wait for 309.50 or so on Adobe with the out at 306.50. I realize this is a slippery slope. And again, we have to be flat at the end of every day, so I think we've got to take some risk for you here. I'm going to do that right now as the market continues to fall down, which is all good, baby, because it was all a dream, except for it's real. We're down here to 76.70 right now for Adobe. Obviously, we wish we held the whole thing, bang, but there it comes back down to the downside as we hold a small piece of AM. Why am I just trading names that are like A's?
That
Apple,
happened the
Adobe,
other day.
AMD, Amazon.
That happened the other day too. I remember it was like all of it. It was like 50% of your trades. It wasn't all of them, but it was like half the trades were A. Look, it's just what happens to be moving. I'm adjusting on, not by a lot, but on Rivian. I do like still shorting if we get to those highs, but it just broke this shelf here at 40.40. So I'm going to play off this level as well. The market is now clearly headed back down toward those lows, so I'm going to once again favor the shorts. I'm in Snowflake, but if it breaks 199, I'm out of it. I don't want it holding below VWAP too long. Otherwise, it doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense to me. Tesla, if you're still watching this, doesn't look like it's going to get to that high. It's going sideways like Neo, so I feel like we just want to get away from that altogether. And Save, by the way. Save making some moves again. So it just consolidated, broke back to the high of the day, now up 1%. Looks like it is in the strong bucket of stocks. Netflix is another one that I thought could show some strength. It hasn't gotten to VWAP yet. If it does, could still be worth it on that long trip. What I like about Snowflake here is, we just saw another leg down in the futures. Okay, we're still holding here at VWAP. So, look, I'll take some out if it gets to the top of this little range that it's had since we came back on for you guys. And I think maybe it tries to get to the high of the day and could possibly fail. But I like some relative strength. If it's not falling when the market is falling, then it's good to go. A couple of pennies away from getting into some Rivian, hopefully. And then, like Sean, I just kind of feel like I'll be holding on to Intel. I don't have any re-entries unless it's back up here at that 29. So if I'm not seeing 29s, I'm not getting any more. If I'm not seeing a breakdown out of this channel, I'm not getting more until the low 80s. So I should actually be on the bid. Not sure why I'm not. I'll get on the bid in front of the 80s here. Throw a bid down in front of the low of the day as well, just so if it flushes. I shouldn't say when, don't talk in certainty, so that if it flushes, I'm already on the bid ready to get out. If we get back up to 29s, heck, that's been the level this whole time. Yes, we were able to get it on that last curl, but I'm expecting a lower high here in Intel. And if we break 29s, okay, then I'll have to give that one up. But that's been the golden price here on INTC. Still not in Rivian. I don't know why it doesn't want to tick up to get me, but at some point I'll get this fill. It's just kind of sitting around that 40-40 level here.
All right, and you know what? Enough is enough. Let's see if we can we get a piece out here on Adobe. Adobe just ripped up to the high side right now. We are now $1 in the money on this. We do have enough shares that we can sort of start to scalp it out a little bit here. Gotcha. Like we said, we did have a position on. That just went to 309 flat there and completely stopped. So I don't want, like I was saying here, I don't want to get like hit and then we see what happens. On that note right here, we did take a piece out. Should not have, because you're seeing where we are right now, but we did take a piece out there on AMD because it went to the 200 period. It's now trying to hit that VWAP again. That sucks that I'm still not in this, because if I was still in this monster trade here on AMD, then wow, the money would be flowing a little bit more, but that's okay. Let's see if it can resist that move to the upside. And there it is. Let's go, baby. Timber not as Adobe right there. Like, wow, that's a pretty good little tick there. Let's see if we can get higher. Now we don't have to get out of anything, really. I mean, even if I lose here, probably be okay. Not really. I think I would still be down, obviously. But there it is, a nice little move to the upside there on Adobe. We'll cash out that $1, a little bit more than $1 on that, Phil. And now we'll wait to see where we go on the upside. Now my targets are up here. Like, let's see how much more we can go here on Adobe. Like, tomorrow's a new day, right? So if they buy this back up, you could get a little bit of a bounce action here on Adobe. But for right now, this is what we've been doing. We waited for Adobe to fall back down. It gave us this 307 bottom there with the 306.50. Someone got, I guess, liquidated there on that stop order of 307. So what did we do? Buy again against that level. Just took out $1, and now we're well in the money on that one. We're long at 307.75 right now. You can see Adobe's 309.20. It's a nice move. I have targets higher than this 200 period, but you know what? If we can get up here, then let's level up to this 312. So I think at 311, 311.50, something like that, we'll be able to get out, and then that will be $4. So if we can put $4 or $5 here on this trade at the end of the day, that'll be a good one. And pretty happy with that move as well, as we have AMD that's been also shorted and now just taken some out here at that same 200 period, but a different fate. Downside for AMD, and we're short. Upside here for Adobe, now $1.50 in the money and trying to make out new level here, but it's got to take out 310 first before we get really excited.
And the futures just bounced off of that 12,000 level. That means two things. One, going to be looking Boeing. Boeing bouncing off 151. So we wanted to grab that long in Boeing if the futures made a bit of a low. So that just happened. I'm going to grab Boeing pretty much in the same channel where it put that previous high at 11 o'clock, just after we got off air, incidentally. And then Netflix, super strong, obviously, this morning. We talked about that. It's bouncing off this 238. Again, morning high. It's trying to take this one out. I'd rather be in a little closer to 238 if I can. So I'm going to sit on this bid here. And the good thing about these is I kind of know exactly where I'm going to be out and where we're wrong on that trade and where you have to accept. Like on Snowflake, it breaks 199, we're out. There's at least some relative strength there. Some names I do like to the short side, but Rivian, that was frustrating. I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting on the offer and it just wasn't going to give it to me there. If it does pop back up, I'll try to catch it in front of that 40-40, but obviously going to end up missing out on that fill, which is a little bit frustrating there on Rivian for me. I did not want to ignore some of the small caps that are moving a little bit. This beat stock, it's holding $2 like an absolute champion, so it's going sideways. I want to see more volume come in here, but the longer it holds at 2, just going to go to the higher time frame. Oh yeah, that daily chart's going to be ugly for me to even be able to try to show you that. Either way, on the daily, I have to zoom right in because of this crazy wick that we have. This is $2 on the daily, so pretty significant level of resistance. The longer it holds here, the more I'm going to like a potential second salvo on this name, but the volume needs to pick up a little bit. But $2, whether it's today or tomorrow, $2 on beat, has me interested to be sure.
Yeah. Not a bad beat on that one.
Right?
I think so, yeah. Okay, Adobe's up to 310. So now I'm thinking to myself, everything you just said now about holding it, it's tough to do it, right? When it comes up to these levels that you've seen before in this 200 period, and the reason why the 200 period is here is for that reason. And so there it is. And I just talked about it. It tried to break it. It didn't. Wondering, do I just take out $3 there or whatever, 250 on that top wick? Let's see if it wants to try it one more time. Like, I'd like to see it break above 310, and then I'll put the stop to get out if it goes back down below 310 again. I feel like that's a good little strategy now, but the market has bounced. I'd hate to throw this one away on Adobe. I mean, I'm not going to throw it away, but hopefully we can capture a little bit of profit here, which we've already done. Just thought like, look at this. It's respected that 200 period this whole way down and hasn't really tested it. And when it does, it rejected off of it. I don't know, man. Let's wait to see. If the market rallies into the close, and I think that's really the question here, is the market going to rally off of 12,000 one more time? If it does, then I have the long. And the problem is my short on AMD is flat now. Like I have a very, very small position. I had a small position before, and I've gotten out twice since, right? So we got out there on that same level. Then we got out at the 200 period right there again, right? So yeah, just looking at that, I like to keep my charts as simple as possible, as you can see. So this is the 50 period. This is VWAP down there, the blue, and then the green is a recently added 200 period to the chart. So again, I'm not really convinced on it, but as you can see what just happened right now, it went right up to it again. But is it the 200 period or is it just 310, right? I mean, there's 310 there, there's 310 again, so would make sense since it just falls back down a buck right now. So, hey, whatever. If it goes back up, great. We're still really happy with today's trading, and that's Adobe for you. Oh, we have the new ticker, and I'm sorry if I ruined this for Brendan again, but I just saw it. A little bit of a slow afternoon here so far. Anyways, CFVI is going to be, and Neil, you'll like this one, the symbol. What's your favorite spirit?
Well, I mean, I love rum.
So what's Rumble's symbol?
Well, it better be.
It's about as simple as can be.
That's
rum.
good for you.
So they're going to go with rum. You see, if you can't tell that Neil and I don't know each other for 25 plus years right there, but that's it. Rumble, it's there, and there it is right now. It's not really moving on any of that, man. I mean, that's the 1 minute interval there. Oh, sorry about that. I was going to say, does Brendan know when that's going to happen? But I see it. It's September 19th, so it looks like it's going to be Monday. No more CFVI. And if you own the shares, this has happened to me when I owned Nikola back in the day. DraftKings was another SPAC that I owned. Yeah, how did that go? But it will change names. You don't have to do anything. Any of your CFVI shares will simply name change it out to Rumble, and then we go from there. But remember the downside. is whenever you have a name change, go from SPAC over to symbol, you no longer have that $10 cushion that is guaranteed to you. When you put money into a SPAC, there's the $10 floor, right? And that's been respected on CFEI. If you go back, and if you don't know that, I mean, that's now you do, so that's good. But you can always get how SPACs work is someone like Chamath or someone like that says, here's $70 billion at like a $10 valuation. Now the stock won't move from there. What they try to do is find a company worth $70 billion or in and around there and then put them into that SPAC and then turn it over to a symbol. But the problem is when that symbol happens, then there goes that sort of that floor of 10 billion, so or of $10 coming through. So right there, you see why CFDI, this is why, and again, I hope there's some of you here that have done this, because when CFEI was down here at 10 bucks, I remember, and I didn't do it myself, so there you go. But that was a pretty good buy at 10 bucks because you know that Rumble, I mean, you didn't know it, but you thought Rumble could be something. Well, then you would have been able to get out right around here. So watch out. Now that we have the date, I think it's a sell event for CFVI, not a buy. So this little bump up, I think, is not right. And I want to short CFVI actually at 12 bucks. So thinking about doing that right now.
Yeah, going to have to start giving up some of these longs. The market's right back to these lows. It looks like we're going to be testing them again. Watching the Tesla shelf at 305, but this is what's happened on the ES. You're getting right down to 39.20. We're 10 points away on the NASDAQ. If we bounce off here, it's pretty simple. I think we have a chance on a couple of these longs, but like as you can see, my tight stops are already starting to come out because I don't want to be holding through this low. Do watch out. Obviously, we just had a big wick there, a wick top on NVIDIA. Looks like that's going to be giving it up. Snowflake just gave it up. And Henry, I was long Palantir. He's like, why would you try the long in Snow and not Palantir? I did have the long at 8 on Palantir twice, actually.
Well, don't take that from Henry.
No, it went 8 to 8. It went 8 to 8.10, and then I took it again, and it instantly broke it the second time I had the long. And it's actually back above 8. So, yeah, Palantir's at the high of the day. Snowflake's at VWAP. You're right. It is relatively strong. Brendo?
Just going back on the time of sales here for Blue Apron to see if this is a block trade, because it's really not doing a lot of volume in general, but there's a huge spike there, guys, that took this thing down about 20 cents or so to day lows, down 6.5% for Blue Apron. There was some news on some climate change action, deal with Planet FWD that they announced. That was pre-market this morning, but huge volume spike there for APRN.
Yeah, Blue Apron, huh? That one reverse split all over the place, that name Blue Apron. It's funny you're in Snowflake, and I'm glad you are, because that was another name that I really liked at that $200 mark. I know it's broken and danced around it, so maybe it's nothing now, but that was an early play there. Apron, APRN, that was a name that...
What's on New York?
It must be on New York, yeah, I just typed in NASDAQ right there. This one's been flying around lately. Obviously, it's down on that today. Good little call there. Look at that big, heavy volume spike right there. Obviously, the largest of the day, so you're going to have to try to respect that, but let's just zoom out a little bit. We used to say when in doubt, zoom out. I like that. I think it's kind of lame. All right, let's just go back out here. I think it's right, though. I mean, I'm in doubt, and I'm zooming out, so I like that. Just to find a level. So you can see Apron is getting clocked over the last couple days. Let's see if when this builds out, where there might be a bottom down here. Okay, so that last wick went to 560. What a surprise that last wick also happened yesterday down there, or this morning it looks like, actually at about 8 o'clock. We went down to that 560 area before. You could see back in here, it looks like 550 was held pretty good, man. You get one little dip down on the 1st of September where we broke 550. So that could be something. I mean, I think if you want to go long, if you get another move down to that 560 level right there, then, that's just someone sort of getting liquidated. If that happens again, then you'll be able to maybe pick something up around that 560 or so area. And then that very bottom right there is 535. So maybe something like that into there. But that's why you want to zoom out. I don't want to go too far back. When it's news-based and things like that, you're not going to get like major technical analysis, especially to the downside, because if they want to hit this, it's not like it's going to stop somewhere. Just levels for you to maybe get out of your short. So there it is right there. Someone definitely liquidated down there, or they took the short, blasted that through. So there you go. That is about, let me just put this over, see how many shares that was. Was that 2 million or 200,000? It only's done 3 million on the day, so it's probably it's only 240,000 shares. So it's not a huge move. But again, represented probably at that time about 10% of the volume. So nice little move move down there on Blue Apron. I would say it is Blue Apron, isn't it? Respect that 550 bid. Maybe the low is 533 on that name.
Oh, if it's not Blue Apron, then I have no idea what stock that is.
No,
it is Blue Apron, man. You're right.
It is,
It's 100% it's Blue Apron. I just want to get back over to this ADTX. I almost said APRM because you were just talking about it. But ATDX, it's bounced off 10. I was kind of looking for a dip into that 950 support area. Looks like it wants to try to break out, but I don't know if you guys can see how small the volume is right now. Pretty tiny volume heading into this high for a break. Maybe that sets up better to try a consolidation long off of 10 even. Spread, it's a little bit spready, 10, 15 cents at a time. Sometimes it closes up a little bit, but I'd watch out for this. I want volume if it's going to break out from this high. So I'm going to try the $10 sit on the bid for a little bit of a dip if we can catch it on ATDX. If we start creeping up a little bit, yeah, that could get spicy for like a 10.75 break. But there's not much that looks like it wants to try to break out in the midst of this market falling. ES keeps going down. The NASDAQ doesn't want to break 12,000 yet, which is probably the only reason why a few of these names are still holding up. I mean, Snow's barely holding on for life at 199. Still on the bid here, about a couple of pennies away from the next fill on Intel, so that should be okay. And I'm kind of looking for Rivian. Yeah, Rivian's bouncing off VWAP here, so decent chance. Yeah, Rivian's showing some support above 40 even. I'll still short it off the high of the day if we can get there, but first things first, we are headed to the downside. That means I still want any short pop we can get in Intel, a couple of cents away from the bid. I'm not sure we take out the lows on Intel, obviously, without the market making some fresh ones. And if that happens, Snowflake will be out. I'm actually probably going to look for some reversals across the board, one of which is not going to be Tesla. Tesla bounced off 305. As the market's going down, Tesla bounces $2 off of 305. Tesla is strong right now, strong.
That one is strong. Okay, I had to do it. Cha-ching. Right there on Adobe. So there it is, man. It can come right back to 310. So we'll take another piece out. So we are now out of 2/3 on that one. Well, it's all good, baby, because right now what we're trying to do is sort of stack it up, right? So we'll hit this one of my favorite animations right there, trying to stack up a little bit of cash on that Adobe trade. And it came back, and we could have reloaded it there, right? But that's the thing. I don't want to make a good trade here and then average in, right? I'm saying that patience is key here. We waited for that 310 to come back. I saw it there. And you know what the funny thing is? As Neil was saying, the market's coming down. Obviously, I can see that. And that was like, okay, the market's coming down, yet this thing wants to go up. So, a little bit of, kind of tomfoolery there with this name. So I'm going to get it out one more time there at 310. Now we just hold for that bottom, 306.50. This Adobe trade can no longer be a negative one because there it is right there. Adobe with the nice little take. We got a piece out there at that 309.86 there. So pretty happy with it. And that's that. So got another piece out. That's another level there on Adobe. Other than that, man, not much really going on right now. AMD still kind of floating around. I'm looking for that trade. I know you were short Rivian near 40. I liked that call. I don't know if you still are. I haven't looked at it.
I got out of it. It's
okay.
I tried to get back in, but it hasn't popped up enough for me to get back in.
I wasn't even really looking at that trade, to be honest with you. I just knew you were in it or not anymore.
Oh, Tesla's getting strong.
Your Snowflake is fine. You'd already talked about Palantir. Is there anything else, guys, that you want us to look at? I mean, the NASDAQ right now, I'm excited for the trade. Don't get me wrong. But the NASDAQ is, okay, we can look at DraftKings. The thing is, the NASDAQ right now is drifting, not drafting, down here to 12,000 one more time. So that break has already happened today, but it got bought up right here at 1,987 is the bottom there. So just a little talk there. I don't want anyone to get all worried about this trade, but still, the NASDAQ is breaking lower, hence why we're holding on to some AMD, and really surprised that Adobe still at that 309 level. What's up, Brendo?
One of these other low float high flyers, Getty Images, just popping back up, guys. Had a big day as well. Back to 13.5, but volume coming back into the upside here.
I remember Getty from the other day.
Getty Lee?
That was weird. My screen's just all went blank for a second. We're all good. I'm right on the bid on ATDX, but Rivian finally popped back to that 40-40 breakdown that it just had a little bit ago. I don't want to get away from this ATDX right now, but this was it breaking 40-40. It's now rounding into that same level, so I'll play it here and then play it off. 40.75 is that high of the day. and that would be the other level that we'd work off of if we go back to the upside. But watch out for Tesla. Tesla just went 307 and then hard turn, like got right to 307 and then immediately reversed. That's the other reason why I kind of like, okay, well, if you're at the resistance level on Rivian and Tesla's turning at 307, why not jump into some Rivian to the short side and see if we can't take advantage of that in front of VWAP? So that's why I did like it. I think the dip can still work on some Tesla. There goes Snowflake. It took out that 99 as the market continues lower. Yep, it just feels like it's going to be one of them short days. So as we turn on Tesla, I'm going to roll into Rivian, play it into VWAP. If we break 40 even on this stock, I think it could go into a bit of a free fall. I was talking about Intel. The next leg, we'd get that one out in front of 2880, so we'll go ahead and do this one. It's been a pretty simple one with Intel 29s, and then of course this curl here, a wick top at 29 and a quarter, and then we jumped into it. ATDX, a small cap, so I mean, sometimes these do follow the market. Like if you get a real huge flush in the market, sometimes it drags everything with it. However, these usually tend to move on their own. So consolidation long off 10 even. If it can break out that high, fantastic. But now it doesn't have to break 11, and I got a reasonable risk to reward here on ADTX. I keep wanting to say APDN because you talked about Blue Apron. So if I say Blue Apron, I probably mean ADTX because that's what I'm trading.
All right, so CSX today in the rails, we talked about that earlier with the rail disruption and whatever, but they're down 3.5% and looking like it wants to continue the move down. I'm sitting here at 17. We'll see if we can get some shorts here. This is CSX coming right in there. 30-30 club right there. I'm going to see about that break. So if we break through 30-30, then we can definitely get out of that name as there it goes. It fills up 17, so we grab the short. And again, like this is... It kind of just goes back to that thing that we were talking about before about not trying to be, but literally painting all of our trades here for you, right? And so you just saw me take that trade, so now there's no question about it. Not that anybody's questioning it, but there's a trade, and someone said it too on the show there about putting sort of our emotions, and even on days where we're frustrated, it was talk about that with Prad there today. Someone said that he was really I don't know if he's upset or whatever. I'll have to see some of those comments, but. Just because some of the trades went sour, but and that's part of it, right? Is like you're going to see when I get frustrated, Neil gets frustrated. I mean, we're sitting here. This is real money, real trading, and we try to take our craft. Personally, I mean, I think we all do anyways, and it's like we're going to try to find the best opportunities, and when they don't work out, yeah, it can be a little bit. Sort of like, that sucks. But you're seeing all of our trades right in front of it. We're sticking it out for you. And I hope it's well appreciated. And if you can, hit the like button there. But I'm going to be short CSX right now into that 30 level. Hopefully that'll print. And I'm going to try to give it back. I mean, I said 30s right there. I think that's worth it. Up to 30, 31. So let's see. We'll average in around here, 25 or so. I'm not going to average down. I want to average up if it goes against me. So that's what I want to do right now. 30, 30 or so for my first average. Not 30, 30, 30. 30, 25. But that's what that is.
Guess what broke?
Go ahead. Rivian?
12,000 is broken.
Oh, 12,000.
And this one's for you, Fahad. Yeah, like this is the only, look, I got a small cap long, but other than that, it's just the shorts because Rivian, we just put that one on that 40-40 curl. It's now broken VWAP. Tesla broke VWAP. And wow, goodness, Tesla. That is insane. Of course, my stop did not run at 305. This is what pisses me off. That's what pisses me off. I don't get mad when you get into a trade and you take a hit. But when I had a 305 and I'm like, where's my stop on 305 at Tesla? Because I'm like, yeah, trust the system. No, my stop was not going to fill. So I have to get out manually. I don't want long when it's breaking 305. It's long in front of 305. So
right.
That's what gets me pissed off. Missing a trade that I want to have.
Look at AMD.
Or making a trade that's like, losing on a trade if you get out where you're supposed to, who cares? That's the cost of doing business. Losing on a trade because either you don't throw your stop in or you keystroke your stop or you don't have it at all, that's nonsensical. So that's kind of annoying there on Tesla. We're doing a live show and kind of that'll get me frustrated more than anything else. ADTX, I said it might follow the market if the market went down far enough. Decent chance it's going to do so if we break this 10 even. But my stop is actually in. I've double checked it. It's right there at 10 bucks. No way I'm letting that go through that. The shorts are definitely in, Brendo.
Roblox getting flushed here, guys. Not seeing anything yet. Keeping my eye out, but monster move to the downside here on heavy volume for RBLX.
Didn't have it out.
Yeah.
What the hell, Roblox?
Roblox, downside watch. Yeah, downside watch is right. Downside. So something's happened to Roblox here for sure. I mean, look at the velocity here on the tape. It's really, really screaming. It's not moving much. Okay, there you go. I was going to say, it seems like it's stuck there, but yeah, Roblox right now, what was up with that flush? Tons of volume came in there. Was that a Cathie Wood dump, possibly? I mean, I think that could be what it was. She could have liquidated there. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me if a big player liquidated their Roblox, because look where Roblox was before. I mean, am I right on that? Yeah, it was up to 46. So basically, Roblox was like near the highs of this recent move up, and that could have been a complete liquidation there of some. I mean, unless, I don't know. I mean, Brendan's there. If there's news, there's news. But I mean, that's a big flush there on Roblox all the way to the downside.
What's the 44 level?
Something is up there with RBLX. Thanks, Brendo, for that news. I mean, it's a name that I'm long in, and I don't know if I want to get longer, but yeah, 42.50 is holding for a little bit there.
When in doubt, kind of zoom out, because 42 and a half was a big level. That's kind of like the wipeout bottom from a couple of days ago and support back on the 9th. But then I just look back to previous resistance. 44 to 44.20 is going to be that previous support level, to turn into resistance on any kind of a pop or dead cat bounce. I want to short that first level of concern. Brendo?
There's some daily active user numbers being circulated for August. Looks like they were down 7% year over year. So that might be it, guys. So daily active user numbers, not good apparently for August.
Not good. Well, there you go. That'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait. Let it settle down. I mean, on that news right now, like, there's no way that I'm stepping in on that. I just don't have any interest. The fact that there was that story, I would have stepped long if I thought that it was like that Cathie Wood thing, right? Because when you get liquidated or something gets punched out like that, it's not necessarily a bad thing it's a bad thing for the stock, obviously, but it doesn't mean that something's changed as far as valuation. It's just some large investor, i.e. Cathie Wood, and again, I'm just throwing her name out there. It has nothing to do with anything. But you know, if that was a liquidation, that's a different story. But if it's going to be based on metrics and things like that, valuations, company, like daily average users, or active users, like you just mentioned there, then I think that's a definite stay away. Yeah, there it is right there. Hit an all-time high in August of 60 million subscribers. Booking decelerated, exactly what Brendan said there. 7% growth in August, was down 4% from July. So someone named Brandon Ross there on Roblox tweeted that. So that's what that is. But yeah, so there you go. So a big move down. Obviously, the algos hit that. That's why it's a very tricky game. I mean, I know we have Brendan there, but even before the story hits, it's like that's almost impossible. You have to have a pretty serious algo build to be able to scrape news to get that story. Well, it's 320 right now. AMD is $2 in the money now.
That's a little
as that continues to go down. And I was just like thinking, oh man, I would have made. So I had my biggest trade of the month here, and now I'm like, oh man, should have held it, but we still follow our rules. I'm still happy with it. If I had that crystal ball, I would have done that, and I would have shorted Roblox as well, but we don't have that, so we're holding a small piece. I'm just going to hold it for the
magic
rest.
8 ball.
Yeah, but that one told me to get in or out. That magic 8 ball, I think, has failed. We have to write down how many times we ask it something, because we never follow up with the magic 8 ball.
Well, the last time it was wrong.
What was? Yeah, was it wrong?
No, the last time. I don't remember. It had something
to
it had something to do with where the market was going to close.
Yeah,
and I'm
was
pretty
it wrong?
sure it was wrong. I just don't remember exactly.
All right, let's just do it right now. Above or below 12,000 on the NASDAQ for a close today at 4 p.m. here on September 15th, Magic 8 Ball. Above or below? Or no, you can't ask above or below. I have to. Yeah, thanks, Fahad. I just figured that out. It's a yes or no question. So
yes.
Will we finish above 12,000 on the NASDAQ? The Magic 8 Ball says yes. As I see it, yes. For the Magic 8 Ball today, closing above 12,000. This is not
literally
financial advice.
I mean, we're literally all short against this right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Now the 12,000 might not even be. I mean, look at this. You want to talk about taking down that 12,000. I mean, you're now down to 19,500 here. So not 19,500, 11,950. So I'm just not using the first two digits because we've already broken it. But there it is. It's a nice move to the downside. Brendan has news. What's up?
Is this Roblox?
It's just amazing to me that this kind of a move can come from this. But this comes from a website called Lightshed, which is a tech-focused research firm in New York, a blog-based type of research firm in New York. So that Brandon Ross guy, apparently, that you mentioned, Not a lot of followers on Twitter, guys, but caused that move. So Lightshed is the website.
You know what?
What? No, I mean, he might be right. I don't know. I mean, it's probably right.
I know it's more like I was just short 43.5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just short 43.5 on Roblox, and then like hearing this, I'm like, oh well, if it's not that reputable, maybe I should just get out of the short. Like I'm telling you, I just got out of it. I just got out just now as Brendan was talking, and now it's right back testing below 43. So I don't know. I mean, it's a flat trade, and you know, realistically, like sometimes you have to go with your gut there, and I'm like, it's fallen far enough. If that ends up being not legit, the market could still go. We have a couple of shorts on, but I'm kind of kicking myself for that one. I should have just hung on to it. Like I saw it come, it snapped right as Brendan was saying that. It snapped right back up. It was in the money, and we snapped back to break even. I'm like, ooh, this could be something there. Let's just get out while we have a chance to get out flat. And then of course that's it shaking me out, and my chat crashed. So every day at about 2 to 3 o'clock, YouTube decides that there's just not enough memory, and it'll crash my YouTube. So if you guys are saying something about how I paper-handed Roblox here, then you are absolutely correct. But we'll hang on to at least the shorts that are working here. Rivian continues to flush. It's trying to catch a bit of a bid. Oh, I'm on my 15-minute chart because when in doubt, zoom out. If something does move like that, I'm not looking at my 3-minute chart. I'm pulling back to my 15-minute or my daily and then trying to play off of the levels that are significant there. Rivian now bouncing off of 39.60. We'll hold this one probably to the imbalances or into that close just to see where it might be able to go. But yeah, Roblox, I don't think this is going to be done. It's going to make a test here of, if it tests 44 again, I can always jump back into this trade maybe at a better price and still give it to that 44 level that we were talking about earlier. But maybe a little bit of paper hands. It still looks pretty valid to try this fade off of that 44 support to resistance.
Yeah. I was debating going long on Roblox if we take out 44, but I'm gonna pass on. I'm gonna pass on that right now. I was just looking at CSX. During all of that, unfortunately, I didn't have any bids out. CSX goes down to 08, which is not a huge trade, anyways. But that was the one that on that break of 12,000. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything. We were talking about all that. I didn't have anything on board. The only thing I have on board here is Adobe. That's come basically all the way back. I mean, we didn't almost get taken out, but went right back down into 307. I just don't want that again. Now we're below 12,000. I feel pretty, flossing. I feel pretty happy about that. And by the way, make sure you floss. I got a dentist appointment coming up soon. I had a dentist appointment like a couple weeks ago, and we were doing something. So I think it was that night we went out with Raheem. So that got canceled, and I don't know when.
Good call.
Yeah, very good. I mean, dentist.
Drinks with the boys or go to the dentist. I don't think you have to
go there
worry
twice
about.
A year. I mean,
yeah.
Give me a break.
Reschedule.
I can reschedule. Yeah, hopefully reschedule anything as long as the wife says it's okay. But we will. Got to throw that in there. We did have another. Anyways, that was flossing. Who cares? I don't know when my appointment is. Hopefully coming up soon. But anyways, Adobe. The funny thing is, my kids actually like brushing their teeth, so that's been a very big bonus right there. They've been going to the dentist since they're like 2, 3 years old. So they actually like the dentist, which is kind of strange, and I feel blessed about that one because kids are funny like that. But they have to have that. Automatic toothbrush there, the battery powered one.
Yeah, my daughter's obsessed with those.
Yeah, they really like that. So they're always like, Dad, you got to charge it. And I'm like, okay, plug it in. No problem there. Okay, so Roblox is bouncing. And the thing is here, I just want to show people this. I mean, I'll call up Roblox right now quickly, RBLX, because I may take this long. Now, yeah, you went long, right? Or did you go short? You went short. Man. So I just,
it has to be above 44 for me to go long.
Yeah, I mean, that little wick bottom there, I'm just noticing right here back on, what day is this? Ow. This is the 9th. You had that bottom right there of 42.50 or so. So that could be, I just wanted just noting that level. That's all, 42.50 right there. I would prefer the long against that level, but I mean, the market, like I said, you can't go long. It's like, I like that Adobe trade, but in this market, you can't do it. I mean, it's broken through 12,000. This is exactly what we wanted to have happen. I'm sort of just sitting here milking this AMD trade as it just keeps on going to the downside. But for right now, it's broken. Someone said, why don't you trade Microsoft a little while ago? And you were 100% right. Look at that break. Microsoft, you want to talk about a weak name today. I lost a lot of money on Microsoft, and the funny thing is, all of these are shorts. So that
Time
sucks,
to start gobbling
but
that bad boy up. Below 250.
yeah, the bottom is 241 is the 52-week low. So right there. But anyways, look at that trade, man. You could have easily gone short 245 there on Microsoft. That's that break. It's supported, break to the downside. So these are trades that all of us need to be on there, right? So there it is. Yeah, what's up, Chef Henry? You right, man. I see somebody there in your picture there, Chef Henry. As long as the wife says it's okay, you got to throw that in.
Man.
Of course, man. There it is. What's up, Chef Henry? But by the way, chef, go out for dinner, do stuff like that. The wife likes that kind of stuff. That's for sure. So shout out to you, Chef Henry, and thank you for that super chat. Got you on the show, my friend. Brendo.
Before that Roblox thing happened, I was reading an interesting note on Apple, guys, from the Wall Street Journal, with a note, Apple also making that similar move to Microsoft. Day lows, 2.3% currently. Apple now overtaking Tesla as the most shorted stock in the U.S. market. 18.4 billion worth on the short side now for Apple. I just had a look at the per share number, or the sheer share amount number, and it was about 116.5 million shares shorted in Apple currently.
At all. I'll do this one for you.
That's actually bullish.
There you go. That's why you're the GOAT, Brennan. But mostly because of the Roblox story. I did get back in, but I'm going to paper hands it again because I'm getting out of this in front of 42. We grabbed the short on Roblox after paper handing it the first time, played into that 42 even. I always say when in doubt, zoom out. So I zoomed out on the 15-minute. You guys saw that before. And I just see that, look at the gap fill. A level like this at 42, that's where I'm anticipating you catch a little bit of a bounce. It makes sense to me. And anything below, like these areas here, like this 43 quarter to this 44 channel, that's the short area. Get out if it breaks 44. You're playing down to that 42. That's all I'm looking for, right? In a dead cat bounce. Like you're not short. If you're short 46, it's like, congratulations. I mean, you could have been sitting in this, I suppose, when the news came out. You're not getting that actual trade. And this also happens to be the 50 period on the daily at 42. That's another reason to get out. Roblox above the 50 period. I didn't realize that, but Roblox still, even after this, is
I'm telling you, you have to buy. Roblox
period.
is a good buy, man. I'm telling you, I really like that stock. The funny thing about that note that I read this Roblox hit an all-time high daily active users in August. Right? Obviously, as kids are back to school now and things like that, September numbers are going to be down. So what in the heck is this guy talking about right now? Because it was still an all-time high back in August. We obviously don't have the September numbers yet. It's September 15th. But I guess the deceleration of 7% versus 4%. So I guess it's just they could have, so they only accelerated, I guess, 4% against 7%. So I don't know. We're going to wait to see that story. I think there's more on there, but that's a good short, obviously, there. Okay, so what did we do meanwhile? Look what we did there. Thank you, CSX. Come again. So right there's a short right there. We took it against that 25 level and just took it out at 14s or 15s, I think. You're now at 14s. I'm going to put another bid on this level, get some more out if we can, down here near 13. We should be able to do that at some point. Okay, there's Adobe as well, bouncing off that 307 level. I'm going to hold this for the moon, see if it does happen into the close. We do have those imbalance locators coming out soon. The locator is out, but the imbalance is coming out at 350. So that should spark it. We'll find out when that happens right now. But that's Adobe, and there goes CSX. It broke through 13, so there it is right now. This might look like a small win because it is, but it's only a $30 name and doesn't move that aggressively. But there's another win for you as we start to sort of catapult ourselves. All I'm really doing is making some money now today because I like the over in tonight's football game, 54.5. So let's do that and let's play over and let's go over to Brendan as AMD's breaking 76.
Kanye, guys, currently on CNBC, talking about his desire to leave Gap. So heads up on GPS if you're watching it. Kanye on CNBC.
Right. I tweeted that out earlier this morning on Gap and ignored it all day. Let's go see, have a look here, what Gap is doing. Look, I mean, we know Kanye says Kanye to that one. He's just not happy with anything these days. He's building his own Donda Sports Academy. He's building Donda University. He's just, when you have $8 billion or whatever Kanye does, you kind of just give the finger to everybody and that's it, right? So he's going to continue to be successful. Those glasses that he has out right now are pretty cool. I could see Lucas in those glasses as well. Oh, he's on with the glasses right
he's literally
now
on, yeah,
on
that's
CNBC.
insane,
I
like-
like those. This is a smart dude, honestly, man. He's going to sell a shit ton of those glasses. I'll tell you that. I don't know how much they're going to be. They're probably like $900. They're foldable glasses. You can roll them up, put them in your pocket. But shout out to Kanye. Love that guy. But yeah, interesting dude there. But we talked about the Kardashians earlier. Him and Kim have split, obviously. So we'll wait to see what happens with that. But Kanye says Kanye to GPS. So obviously not really affecting them. We talked about that early, but there's the bump up for some reason, and it just faded with the market all day.
Yeah, and speaking of fading, we're bouncing 39.5 on Rivian here, so it's about 80 pennies in the money. Looking like the market wants to fall. It's all about trailing stops and hold on to your shorts. Intel's already at the low. I already took a fill at the low of the day here. I don't know that I wanted to reload this tight to the low of the day, so I'm just going to hold through any potential break. Look for 28.50 to the downside. Roblox looks like that was the right call to get out at that 42 level. 42 is also I said 42 for Hitchhiker's Guide. 42 is also legit my favorite number. I wore it in baseball for years for obvious reasons, but we're bouncing off 42. Yeah, it's finding support at this price. I mean, it's also the 50 on the daily. There's definitely buyers down here. They're taking advantage of this as the market is trying to make a little bit of a bounce here. I mean, looking for names that were relatively strong. Henry, you'll like this one. Yeah, Palantir, it's still up 4.5%. It's still above VWAP. I mean, if the problem is it's not really moving a heck of a lot. You can probably scalp this for 5-10 cents at a time. It's not a horrible long for something that has at least shown some signs of strength out there in the market. There was earlier, not Fubo. I keep saying Fubo because that's what I was trading yesterday. It's Roku that was super strong. That broke VWAP. I was kind of looking to see if that could still be holding out at 73. Maybe it'd be worth a bit of a bounce here going into the close. With only 20 minutes to go till the imbalances come out, today is not the big one. Tomorrow is options expirations. It is the third Friday. It is the quarterly, it's the end of the quarter, quarterly rebalancing going to be coming in tomorrow. So we should expect a little bit more extra activity at 350 on those imbalances that we'll see today. But market is catching a bit of a bid here. I will not be reloading Roblox in front of that 44 area. I feel like the trade's already been in. The bounce has just happened. If anything, if it takes out 44, like you said, Sean, it might just be a bit of a breakout trade 44 into like 45 or so. Scalp a buck out of that one as the market tries to catch a bid.
Okay, so I don't know, man. I mean, I'm trying to get out. You okay over there, Batman? This guy's too much, man. I got to say, Fahad comes out with me to do that stalking in the streets, and it's a good time, man. I'll tell you that much. It was funny because today, I'll tell the story, Fahad. Some dude, an older gentleman today, as we were like, hey, man, you want to be on TV, or on a YouTube or TikTok? Here, we're just going to ask you a few questions about some stocks. And the guy just like looks me, and so there's some girls around us and things like that. Plus we have Liz, and the guy kind of looks me and Fahad in the face and is like, what do I get out of this? And then Fahad's like, oh, you'll be on TikTok, whatever. But the guy's like 50 years old. I don't think he even knows what TikTok is. Not to say that 50-year-olds don't know. I mean, I barely know. I don't have an account. But anyways,
couldn't know.
And then the guy's like, man, do I get paid for this or anything? And then we're just like, nah, you don't get paid, like whatever. And then he's looking around. He's like, are you going to pay me with one of these women? I'm just like, what? Like, what do they think we are? Like a bunch of pimps running around here? But that was really funny. And we're just like, nah, man. And we're just like, see ya. And we just kind of was like, no way. And then anyways, that's just a funny story. That was the first time that's ever happened where we got asked for that. And it was random. Like we're on U of T campus and there's people around us, right? There's, the young ones. Yeah. And he's like, what, are you going to pay me with a woman or something? I'm like, what? Like, where are we right now?
Sean Katina,
AKA
next
time I'll be like,
a pimp
wear my
named
jacket.
Slickback.
I'm going to be like, yeah, get out
You're
there,
a pimp.
have the hat on, stuff like that.
PIMP.
What you know about me.
I don't know what you heard about Sean.
Exactly. I don't know what you heard about me, but that guy heard something about about me for sure.
That is a little crazy.
But yeah, no pimping of random ladies on the streets of Toronto for stalking the streets. But there it is right now. So that was pretty funny. I hope you guys enjoyed that story there in the chat. No, we did not get that on video because we ask people first.
Well, no, you can't because, if you didn't want to go on.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just like, if I got that on video,
should have
that
done
would have
it
been
anyways,
hilarious. We could have had that, but whatever. The guy was serious,
what's he going to do?
No, it was just funny.
He doesn't know what TikTok and YouTube is anyways. You get him, right?
But he does know what this is. Money. So there it is right now as the guy wanted to get paid off in this. But there's CSX
Everyone
again.
wants to get paid.
If you're going to follow the trades, this is basically just a one trade kind of pony here. We shorted it. It started to break lower. It's been down today, down 3.7%. As the market breaks down, we've ignored it all day. I just went over there. It's a rail name. So you get that coming back down. There's 30.20. Nice little move to the downside. Just trying to respect that little level there. That's all. We just noticed it kept falling. We were going to use 30.35 as our out. Now I'm not. I'm almost flat on this trade now as it comes back down. We got out 30.08. That was the bottom, so we have a couple outs down there. So that was well done there, well cooked up for CSX. Maybe we got a little bit too jiggy with it when we wait. A shout out to Miami. What's up, Playmaker there as well, and everybody else in Miami. But just that level right there, $76 coming in. See, I don't have. Yeah, what's up? I used to like Flava Flav, that show. He had a show there where,
on, man, like that was good.
That's why people are talking about it. I guess it was pimping out those. What was it? Flavor of Love, I believe it was called. How do I even know that? But that's what that was. I love. Fahad showed me some jewelry the other day. I want like a big ass clock or something. Have it on here, or a bull or a bear on that one. Yeah, I'm blowing up Fahad's scene right now, apparently. But there it is right there. Batman mask and jewelry. You ever see that guy running around the streets? You know who that is right there. But anyways, no, I think we might have just messed up a little bit. That 76 just kept on basically printing down there and not breaking. So just like Rivian at 40, we're going to put this in our pipe tomorrow because $76 holding right now on AMD probably should have got out. So now that I see that, that's probably the base down there. So we got to really respect that. Oh, what I was going to say is there's the link up again for True Trading Group. Make sure you smash that as well. They're live after we are. That's the only reason why I'm saying that at 4 o'clock. So make sure you guys check them out. Very smart dudes at True Trading Group.
See anything?
I don't see anything, and I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah, I don't know
but they
why.
Are sponsoring the last little half.
Yeah, I mean we'll figure out why it doesn't show up on yours. But like this is what I'm talking about here, guys. Thank you, True Trading Group, sponsoring the end of our show at 4 o'clock. There's the link. You'll see it right at that top. Good friends of the show. When they give out the membership, so hit them up there. It's all about building the community. That's what trading's about, right? Like nobody wants to trade alone. I guess, well, maybe some people do, but people that are successful probably don't want to do that. But it's a lonely business, and it's a lot better to have a community you can bounce ideas off of. You can get held accountable. And as I say that, I'm trailing out of Rivian because it broke 39.75, and you guys held me accountable to something because you said, Neil, look at Beats. Do as I say, not as I do. I should have set an alert for when Beats tested this support level because this was the first, it wasn't even doing volume, and it was the first small cap I talked about saying the longer it holds this support level, it should have a second salvo in it. What does it do? Wick bottom through 2 even, holds the support at 190 that's been there all day long, and now you're back at the high of the day. So as we're looking for, thankfully Roblox happened, right? But as we're looking for other opportunities, there was Beats right. There's Beat right in front of our face. It's not Beats, it's just B-E-A-T. Beat 2 into 225. It has not taken out the high of the day yet. Decent chance it could try to do that here. There is, I don't know if this wick is real. I haven't checked back to see on April 20th whether or not it actually got to 240. Really? So the high on Beat was, according to this, at least on 420, it made a 240 top. Feels like it's a crazy wick, but watch out for that level if it does get there. It has not broken out the top just yet. All I got left is the short in Intel, which, I'm trying to hold through a break of that low of the day. That did not trail me out, so it's still hanging on the bottoms as Rivian did catch a bit of a bid. Tesla starting to chew through some volume here. Did not get to 300, or I would have probably tested the long. It's running out of time for it. Even if it gets there now, it's probably going to be a little bit late in the day to be trying that 300 bounce play.
Okay, so interesting developments here. I always thought it was someone else, but the United States invented both Apple, Ford, and Yeezy. So that's a quote. Oh, you can see him over my shoulder there. You see those glasses? That's what we're talking about. Yeah, he's still on. They can see it right there. But that's cool, man. United States invented all that stuff. So Apple, Ford and Yeezy. I mean, you know, without the United States, I mean, a lot of companies obviously wouldn't exist as they're U.S. citizens. But I guess that's what he meant. But there we go. Kanye, I don't know if he's comparing himself to both Apple and Ford. So shout out to that. I just Googled it. He's worth $6.6 billion. So, I mean, he could literally IPO himself with like a 5-share float or something and then probably be worth about $500 billion after the stock market gets a hold of that name. So congratulations to Yeezy again. I mean, look, he really has come. If you watch some of those Netflix specials, you know, he came from nothing. I mean, the guy hustled when he was younger, for sure. Was writing like stuff for Pharrell, Jay-Z, all these guys, was writing in the background for all this, man, and then became literally what he is right now, just from who he is. So I have respect for the guy, and I definitely want to see that interview, but he's wild. Absolutely, I love them. I just love the spirit behind Kanye West. Whether or not I believe in everything he says, it's a completely different story, but someone that speaks their mind,
he's
you know,
a genius,
yeah,
man.
like he should go to Rumble or something. That would spark that. I shouldn't say that. I don't want to start any rumors. But right there, what about Apple? I mean, because we're, you know, we have most of our audience is U.S. and, you know, United States invented Apple. I'm thinking right here, 152. If we break that, we've definitely held some bottoms right now on Apple. The NASDAQ is trying to bounce back through that level. Do we, if we have a number, and Brendan's been sort of telling us everything here, so I might have missed an imbalanced number,
I didn't see
one, you didn't see one. Okay, well, Brendan will probably, when he does, he'll throw that to us. But 152 right there, you did right now. Yeah, $170 to sell, so $170 million to sell. Thanks, Brendan, for that one. So you know, that's a nothing burger. Obviously, yesterday was $500 or $600 million to sell, and that sort of didn't matter. You saw what the market did at the end of the day, straight fire to the upside. Fire in the booth, if you guys know what that is as well. Okay, so 152 trying to get taken out right now through that level. So we're going to wait to see if that hits. 152 Apple, I'm going to go long and not give it too much love back down, man. Maybe like 20 cents or so into that, because we do have those imbalances coming in less than 10 minutes. That's about it, man. Adobe definitely respected that level one more time. Look at that. You want to talk about a shot to the upside right there. This just got injected with caffeine. 307 bottom, it just ripped to 309. Probably should have got out there. I saw it happening. I saw my net just obviously bounce up to the upside on that move, but honestly, I still think higher highs are coming. So thank you for the super chat exclusive, a nice little exclusive $1.49er right there. So thank you. This is not a take for the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, when I said, you know the funny thing I saw in the chat, you'll get a chuckle out of this one. I said that Dak got hurt, and now I'm rolling like Flacco and Cooper Rush on. Some guy goes, oh, just pick up Trey Lance. Nah, yeah. You're not getting Trey Lance in our dynasty pool.
It's a deep league.
Yeah, it's a very,
we
very
keep
deep
9 guys each year.
There's literally no QBs on the waiver wire.
It's deep rosters, and it's a
Zero.
2 QB league.
Zero QBs.
In a 2 QB league, I've got Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. So I ain't losing, man.
I do like, that's obviously a great one there. I still like Lamar Jackson. I think he could have a big year as well. And then tonight you're going to have another stud in there.
Herbert.
Yeah, it's still equivalent to it's tier below, but Herbert's going to be quite nice as well. But,
I wonder what his odds are for league MVP, because it's probably
Justin
reasonable.
Herbert?
Yeah, it's got to be reasonable.
The thing is that they're probably not going to win their division. Like I feel like you got to sort of win the division. It's kind of like in baseball.
It's
this
true.
is the thing. I want to ask you about this. I think Aaron Judge wins MVP easily because of what he means to the Yankees. It's not, MVP shouldn't be the most talented player, because
It should be the player that had the best season, man.
but I think the team, though.
But baseball is very, look, if you were the best player, then you helped your team win the most games. In baseball, there's just no question about it. It's not like basketball with all this intangible nonsense and game situation and that. No, man, if you were the best, then you helped your team win ball games. Pretty simple as that. So I think even though they're having a historical collapse, it's not because of Aaron Judge, man. Without him, what would they be?
What I was saying is I don't think it's Ohtani is the point.
Well,
because
actually, Ohtani's a monster.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's not about the skill level. It's just about like.
This market's bouncing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm long at 152 now. My Apple trade, I'm just going to show it to you guys. My Apple trade did come in there. So we are long Apple right now into 152. So possibly something to go there. But I don't want to hold this too far back in case that was a fire. So I'm going to get out for about 20 or so cent loss if that does come in. I don't want to be holding this one either. So Apple, again, I don't want to give any of this money back, which I am doing right now as the market is kind of collapsing here for Apple.
Yeah, and look, we just got right back to this same price. Like, it's like 43.5 on Roblox, and it just put a wick top and tried to break through. I don't know if I want to give this to 40 all the way to 44. If it breaks 44, I kind of want to be long in Roblox. I might just give it to 43.60 because I don't want to give back what we made on the stock. So I'm going to go relatively tight stop there. But it keeps trying to break higher, can't seem to do it. If the market's still going up and Roblox takes 44, I think like this is going to be one of those like little scalp long trades. So I don't want to be holding this all the way to 44 even. I'll go tight stop for this and then have to put a trail on Rivian because, Intel, I should say, because Intel bouncing back into the upside. I did not take the Tesla long. I don't like it here. It would have to be a little bit later in the day, earlier in the session, or down at 300. Even though it's bouncing, it looks relatively strong. I just don't like it at that price level. So I think Rivian's going to be the next one. Either it rolls over exactly where it is. Roblox is the next. Either it rolls over right here, right now, or I think we're headed for a collision course with that 44 even, and then we're breaking back out to the upside. So I'm either playing this back into 42 3/4, 42 even, or we're breaking out at 44 on Roblox. That'll be the one with 5 minutes to go to the imbalances. I don't know if I want anything but this, and then hanging on to some Intel.
Yeah, I actually made you might have heard me. I actually made a keystroke. I did wind up getting out of about 20% on this level. I put the wrong price to punch out of some shares, and I got out right here at 93 out of some of these apples. So that's a 10-cent hit on 20%. Stupid, but it might have been smart. I'm going to get out here if it breaks through 80. Honestly, that's just, I don't want to hold this back in. It is a sell and balance. I thought that we could take 152 and just continue to go. We didn't do that at all. So, again, this is part of the risk management that we always try to focus on here on the show, and that is just making sure that you don't turn some of these trades. Like, we're positive on the day. We talked about that earlier, and I just don't need this to turn super sour here. So we're going to wait to see. It's not a big, huge position. Obviously, we're understanding the importance here of holding on to profits into this number. And against imbalances, you're kind of flipping a coin. Like we already know sort of what's been indicated, but that doesn't mean that that's necessarily what's going to come out. So Brendan said 170 million to sell. That's not affecting any of my decisions right now. It's just, into that close. There we go. Let's wait to see where Apple is. I'm waiting at 15s. There we go. We just got filled. So there it is. Spin the money. Apple is going to be a positive trade. Okay, Apple, I see you. Come to the party, baby. See if we can get some 22s or some 20s out there on Apple, and that would be kind of nice to end the day with a nice little banger again here on Apple. So far so good, man. I mean, we take that trade. It's a winning trade so far, but the trade is nowhere near over. So let's wait to see what happens with Apple as it's trying to break to the upside. We got 16s there, not 15s. So let's wait to see if we can get a little bit higher. It ripped to 24. That might have been not a bad position. Remember I said the downside there was a break of 80? That's 20 cents. It just gave me 20 cents. So I could have gone 1-to-1 on that, and I didn't. So that could have been a mistake. As Apple trying to hold 152.
Yeah, and Rivian trying to hold, I keep saying Rivian because I'm looking at another level too there. But Roblox still trying to hold that level. The only two we played is that 43 and the 43 half. I'm right now playing the 43 level. I did get trailed out because it gets close to the imbalances, so this did happen to me. I always do this where I'm holding something for a break at the low of the day, and then I'll put a trail in because if the imbalances come out, and Intel usually has one, like it goes out to buy, it might bounce to the upside. Well, it already trailed me out at 347, so that happened a little bit earlier than normal. Market now heading back into that downside. Watch out, Tesla coming down. It's going to be Roblox for me, and this is part of the reason. Like, you look for something that's going to be moving. It gave you that big move to the downside. You're not going to catch that. Give you a bounce off 42, but I've been playing the short with, I suppose, the news is the way to look at it here. And I don't want to ignore what's going on in that small cap beat. No break yet, so I suppose that'll be in play tomorrow, that 235. It's not a double top, right? Like, it's just your support 190 to 2, and then your top 235 over and over again. This is what we got to watch for tomorrow. Volume fading off, but sometimes day two can be just as good. Ask SoFi about how things look on day two if you ignore them, because I probably ignore that too. And I said this in the show. I said I should be looking at the SoFi breakout that didn't happen for us yesterday. Gap up, looking for SoFi long 6. It does absolutely nothing till the end of the day. And then what happens right at the morning? There's your breakout in SoFi. Day two, that's the play. I tried it long at 650, stopped out for a 6-cent hit on, actually it was like a 7-cent hit on SoFi, only to watch it go to the highest. But this was the trade here. It was breaking out of that top. right? So when I sit there and say beats, watch for that breakout 235 tomorrow. If I don't actually have it and it breaks out and goes to 3, then I should like drop and give 20 or something. But beat, and I keep saying beats, it is beat on the NASDAQ, B-E-A-T. It's just such an easy thing to roll off the tongue to say beats because they're cool, right?
Yeah, Apple, of course, bought Beats a while ago, and I'm long into Apple right now. Like 4,800 people watching, 800 likes. Like, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, let's go. Yeah, come on. Let's get those likes up there a little bit if you can, guys. That'd be greatly appreciated. Right now, I'm 2 shorts, 2 longs, but the CSX is almost out. I have that 10% again on CSX. When it came back, there it is. It just broke out, so we got out of that one. Bye-bye, CSX. A great trade for me on that one. Definitely stacked up some cash on the CSX trade right now. The imbalances are coming out in literally 45 seconds. So if you're following us at home, 349.18, 349.19, 349.20. So you have an idea of where we are trading and where you are watching us. If you are slightly behind a bit, nothing we can do. Speak to your YouTube representative and see if they want to help you out with that one. But I don't know who that would be.
Just
but you can
refresh
do that.
the stream.
Or just phone Kanye. He'll probably solve it for you real quick right there. I don't know if America invented Google or not, but he just talked about Ford and Apple and Yeezy there. So, I mean, he's changed his name a couple times. Okay, here we go. Let's go here. I'm just going to get rid of it. Here comes the imbalances right now. I'm surprised I'm showing you this with only 800 likes. Oh, 1.2. Wow, you guys really hit the like button there. Thank you for that. 1.2K. And here it comes. Here come the imbalances. And it's a shot to the north side there. Look at Apple. Apple absolutely blowing up right now. Hallelujah. Wow, look at this market, baby. Apple is at 60s right now and blowing up. Ooh, your boy just had himself a day right there. Thank you, Apple. 2.5 million shares to buy. I cannot remember the last time that I saw something like that on Apple that created that kind of action. Normally gets paired off and it's kind of like, we're like, no big deal. But look what just happened. Amazon bid, Microsoft bid. By the way, what did the 8-ball say? The 8-ball just gave everybody a 90-point move in the NASDAQ right there. So, yeah, good call. Let's see if it closes above, though, 8-ball, above 12,000 there. I said 90, sorry, 60-point move there at that bottom. So, actually, it was more than that. It was 90. It just touched 12,030 there on these imbalances, and we did well to get out of a lot of our Apple there on that move up. Wowee, wooey. Look at Apple. That was Microsoft, sorry. There's Apple. Look at Apple just ripped up to the upside right there. What a good out, like a machine gun for Apple.
And also breaking, by the way, beat, I said if it broke tomorrow, well, it broke today. Right after I finished talking about it, who knows? It broke that 235 high, got up to 36 long. It played up to 45 here, and it might not get to 50. Remember, this is one of those things where so late in the session, we're day trading here, so I have to be flat. I will have to get out if we dip back in, or just before 4 o'clock. Sometimes you do see these continue after the market close. So if it does not get through 250, sometimes it doesn't mean it's going to be over and done. I need to hold this back to about 230. But that was a big reversal on the imbalance there. When it looks like it's going to come out as nothing and then it shows up as 2 billion, a lot of times that's the catalyst you want. Brendo?
Pop on Revlon here, guys. Just seeing a couple people circulating a note suggesting their bankruptcy plan has been approved. Not a huge move, but volume continuing to increase anyways on Revlon.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. Because look what you want to talk about the imbalances making a difference here. Wow. That's why it's like doot, all the way out, man. Each one of these is about 10%. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So, yeah, that's exactly right. We have third left, and it looks like we'll get stopped out, watch this, on our last third. So that's like, wow. Take those imbalances for what they're worth, man. It rocketed up the futures and obviously took Apple with it, right? Apple had that big imbalance number, and maybe it's getting paired off as we speak. It's not, but the move has now filled back in. So Apple fills the bid again all the way back on that imbalance. Look at that. Wow. That's why I was like, oh, wow. Like when that happened, I apologize. I was on Microsoft. I thought I was on Apple, but that we just kept going offer all the way up, and we actually wind up getting, obviously you don't have the best price. We have one of the best prices, and that's why you do it, right? To get a blended price. So on that, my average move out there, we got a 20 because we were sitting there, and then we got a 40, a 51, and a 60 something. So yeah, that's why my average price out there about 152.50. So I'm gonna take another piece out now. That was a little scary. There we go, take a 10 out. That was a little scary as that did come back in there and almost flattened us there again.
Get them while they're hot once again, and thank you, True Trading Group. The link is up there. Another 50 free memberships handed. I see everyone's sort of gobbling them up there, so thank you for that. Of course, we got the link up there. When we're done, they're going to have their stream at 4 o'clock. So good friends of the show, as you can see, always pretty supportive there. Thanks a lot, guys. Grab them, join the community, grow the community. Trading is a lonely business. Don't do it alone. Get a resource there. And thank you. Look, I wouldn't have even remembered about Beat. And yes, should have been long at $1.90 to $2. You got to be able to get over that. That's in the past. You got to move on to the next trade. It broke that $2.35. It's having trouble getting through 250. I don't have a choice. Got to get this all out. It's at 354 now. We have 5 minutes to go. So I think it can break 250 and run from here, but that ultimately doesn't matter if it doesn't do it by 4 o'clock. So I'm going to probably have to get out in southbound. But I think this could be in play for tomorrow. That's going to be the bigger thing. As long as it's above this price, holding that 190, it's definitely got a shot. But yeah, should be an exciting one going into this close. It's going to be an awesome end of the week to be sure. We got 5 minutes left here today for this market to try to get something back. It's not going to go green, but it can get off these lows at least.
I mean, I like it to go green because I'm long, but right now we'll just...
We're down 2%.
Yeah, it's not going to go green. Well,
I mean,
stranger things have happened, but we need some sort of a news report or something to turn this thing green. But there it is right there. We're going to get out of our Adobe. I just didn't want to wait in case the last move is down today. So we'll hit that again. That's another $2 winner right there for Adobe, as we'll take that one and we'll catapult ourselves through on Adobe, as that's a good little trade for us there. It sucks because it's back to 310 right now, but whatever. We'll take that out at 309. You can see that tick right there, 309 for Adobe, long at 307. So we'll take that. A couple good outs there for ADBE as it goes. And here it is, man, right back up to the high spot. Let's take a piece out at 37. You just hit off or enter and you get it. Here goes Apple. Again, man, yes, we did it for you people. Apple long, there's a trade we took. That's a very profitable trade. CSX, a very profitable trade for us on the closing show. We talked about having AMD on board and just covered that as well for a profitable show trade for you. Other than that, man, Adobe, Apple, AMD, and CSX all rule the day. Let's just see what Coinbase is doing. We were short Coinbase here at 80. That's going to hover around, so we'll watch Coinbase tomorrow as that ETH merge today. Sent Ethereum back down a little bit. You can see Ethereum's down to 1,500 right now, as we'll talk a little bit of crypto. Ethereum down to 1,300. And then where did BTC wind up now? I have it at 19.8 right now for Bitcoin, so a nice little move down. Let's go to the minute chart. I know the market's about to close, just quickly. 1995, made it just a move back up. Let's just see where that is. Crypto, yeah, it's around 20,000 again. So I think that 20,000 is going to be pretty key there for Bitcoin. As guess where Apple is right now? A 50-cent winner again there for Apple. So yeah, we'll end the day on a high spot right now. We're net positive. It was a good day, and I had a lot of fun today. So thanks for watching, and thanks for hitting the like button. Let's just try that one more time. If you've hit it already, though, don't hit it again, because then that will take it away. But if you haven't hit it, please do that, guys. Over 4,800 people watching right now. That's a pretty good number for us. So please hit the likes. And again, a thank you to True Trading Group as well.
Yeah, big time, big time. I see a lot of support for the Chargers in this chat right now. Look, I think KC's going to roll them because Mahomes looked absolutely unstoppable.
Wow, there's way more LA and like.
No, I get it. They're probably more LA fans than you're going to get. West Coast fans that are going to support the Chargers than you're going to get for KC. But come on, I don't know if they got a shot. They're missing their number one receiver. Got 2.5 minutes to go.
Keenan Allen, but
they got Mike Williams.
Yeah, and have that Palmer kid.
And Palmer's he's a good player. I just want to note Netflix as well. So, look, Netflix had this level. I was long this at about 235 half, and then that's where the stop was. It ends up holding this as afternoon support, and then again, lunchtime and then afternoon support. Netflix up 5%, super strong. I've ignored it pretty much all afternoon outside of this in and out, basically flat, but that's the thing. I talked about having a tight stop on those longs because the market was going to give you one way or the other at a decision point. You can't hold on to those. If it breaks, great. You've got room to get to the high of the day, and you're not risking a heck of a lot for that. But you can't hold on. Otherwise, that's what happens to you. 2 minutes to go. The market I guess reversing a little bit of this move to the upside. I might have jinxed it a little bit here. But still, exciting show, exciting day, and we'll get a heck of a lot more tomorrow when you get that index rebalancing to end, and options expiration as well. Like, you want to know why stocks like Rivian just sit there holding 40 over and over and over again? Well, you know, it's going to be exciting tomorrow. It's probably not going to be at 40 or close to it by the end of the day, one way or the other.
The one thing that's going to happen tomorrow, watch your screen, fireworks tomorrow on the rebalance. So we're going to get ready for that one to come through as well. Yeah, it should be a good NFL game. I have Pacheco as well. We'll see there what's going to happen. Do I follow?
Pacheco, isn't it?
No, it's Pacheco.
Is it Pacheco?
It's not Pachenko. It's not like
Plinko. No, I thought it was Pacheco, like with a
I think
CO.
it's Pacheco, but I don't know. We'll see tonight how they're going to pronounce it. I have no idea.
He's good.
He's
I
good.
like him.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire and him maybe sharing the rock. We'll see what happens tonight. But okay, so yeah, tomorrow's the rebalancing. I see it's Tony the Tiger on the bell over there with only a minute to go. Let's see where we are. And guess what wins again? The 8 ball. We just asked the 8 ball, will the market close above 12,000 on the NASDAQ? We're at 12,006 right now.
Don't jinx it.
There is 40 seconds
Like
left.
9 points
will
above.
the 8 ball win again? I'm going to get out of Apple right now
Celebrate too early.
for a nice little 50-cent win. Bang right there as we get out of Apple to end the day. It's been a big day, and we're really happy to join us. We only asked for likes twice today, and those were both in the last 5 minutes. We should have done it earlier, but thank you for hitting that like button. Now up to 1.5K. Hit it, because we are almost over with the show as it's going to expire in about 15 seconds, but stay tuned afterwards. And then, of course, we're back tomorrow for a big day. Here it is with only 10 seconds left. It's Tony on the bell, and there he is, Tony. Good call on Adobe. It's going to close around 311 here. That's a good call. As 2 and 1 hit the bell, we are now closed. Thank you so much for Tony. Oh, I got to make sure I cancel my stop orders. I still have a stop order there on Adobe. Make sure that, especially if you're with Day Trade the World, we don't trade after hours. Make sure you cancel all of your stop orders. That's for sure. You don't want to get caught holding anything at the close. But guess where we finish?
Just made it.
Next time, trust the 8 ball, man. It gave you a 90-point swing there.
I mean, obviously maybe
50,
don't just
50,
make a
50.
trade because of
Do not take financial advice from an
Mac.
Amazon 8 ball, Brendan.
How do you know we got it from Amazon?
Or maybe you do. It held on very well. We had a bit of a move down to 1205 there, but yeah, we closed above. Here's how things wrap up the day. The S&P 1.06, about 0.5% for the Dow, 1.6 to the downside. I mean, we're talking like it's positive, but still pretty red here, right across the entire board. 3.5 for crude oil. That's off the lows at this point as well, but big move down for crude. Yeah, you guys mentioned Ethereum there off of the software update that's going to save the world, I guess, for the electricity side of things, 6% on ETH.
You're right, though. It's now 99.9% less energy because you're not mining it anymore, right? So I think that's really, really cool. I want to give a big thank you, shout out to Michelle here. Look, we have to talk about our viewers, right? I want to say thank you to Michelle. Unforgettable day, guys. Thanks for all you do every day. You are welcome, Michelle. If we weren't forced to take vacation days, we probably would be here every single day. But I do think that vacation days are important. I just love the market, and we love being here with you every single day. So you got to take vacation days. You actually just told me today you're trying to get March break off, so that's good.
Yeah, planning a big, huge, well, potentially huge family trip to get everybody in Antigua. So my family's from Antigua.
That's what it's all about.
Everybody wants to go, and you get a little bit older, and have aunts and uncles that I want my daughter to be able to meet and my wife to be able to see. So planning that, hopefully.
You don't have to justify it. I think that's right. You should travel.
Yeah, first of all, trying to travel to the Caribbean during March break when they're going to jack the prices up.
You have lots of money, man.
I'm cheap, man. You know I'm cheap.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the prices. Don't worry about the prices. There it is. Adobe down 17%. Its worst day since 2010 for Adobe. Really? Adobe getting hit today. Part of that was because they're buying that web developer. So, $20 billion. Yikes on that valuation. Make sure you stay tuned for our trade of the day. It's going to happen right after this. It was Tesla. So it was Tesla. That was a big stock there. Anything hitting the wires or anything you want to say here, Brendo?
Just that Adobe note is crazy. What a move to the downside. Mark has reemerged as well. Congratulations to Mark back out.
Mark, I think, yeah, there's Mark, and he's still alive. He had the mask on and everything, so he's still good right there. Thanks, Mark, for all you do. And the sanding kind of stopped, so that was good. Thank you for that one there. But yeah, okay, let's wrap this thing up. I want to give a big thank you to everybody. A big thanks to Mark. A big thanks to everybody that's working on the show to make it bigger and better as we go forward. A big thank you to Fahad over there. A big thanks to Lucas. Big thank you to everybody that's involved with the show. Liz as well, Katrine, Maggie, and a big thanks to Sharif and Pratt on the midday show. They did a great job. I don't know if Ian's on tomorrow or not, but thanks to Ian for always coming on the show as well for that. But hey, look, it was another great show. Tomorrow's show is going to be even bigger and better. We have the imbalances coming. It's going to be a great show. I'm excited. The NASDAQ's still at 12,000. So, hey, we're back at 8:30, and I hope you join us. So from everybody here at Trader TV Live, that's Neil, that's Brendan, I'm Sean, and we will see you tomorrow bright and early, 8:30. Ciao, guys.